We come to this place for magic. We come
Where
to
heartbreak feels good.
To laugh, to cry, to care. Because we need that, all of us. That indescribable feeling we get when the lights begin to dim. And we go somewhere we've never been before. Not just entertained, but somehow reborn. Together. Dazzling images on a huge silver screen. Sound that I can feel. Somehow, heartbreak feels good in a place like this. Our heroes feel like the best part of us. And stories feel perfect and powerful. Because here, they are.
Where heartbreak feels good, we made podcasts better. Hello, everyone. We're back. We're live. This time for another episode of We Come to This Place to Rank, our new name for our top 10 series. So that's a fun little announcement. Joining me is my co-host Edgar.
This guy. Yeah, I'm excited to start this like mini series that we're gonna get going starting today. Going back in time, baby. Ranking our favorite movies of every year, going back 2021, 2020. Eventually, hopefully, we want to get to one of our favorite years, 2019. But
2019,
we have to wait a couple more episodes for that one. But yeah, I'm excited.
All right, join me again, one of my other co-hosts, Evan.
We're back. Yeah, I'm excited. Going back to the past, 2021 was a very good year. I don't think it was the best year, but I had some great movies towards the latter half of the year. I still contend 2019 was a more back half kind of year as well, but we'll get to that list. That was a great year too. 2016, though, was where it's at. But yeah, 2021 filled with so many great movies across a lot of different genres. My top 10 is filled with a lot of different types of movies, so I'm excited to talk about it.
And returning guest for the 10th time now? I don't know. We have Alden.
I don't know about all that. Making it sound like I just
reload
and sleep here. I do sleep physically here. But yeah, if we're all just picking other years to shout out, I can't wait till we get to 2017.
Ooh,
which might be my favorite. What was cool about this is once you told us the topic and I made my top 10, then I started to think, is this my favorite group of 10? So I started to think about the other groups of 10, and I think 2017 is the one. But this is still a great one. Might be my second favorite 10 that we've had.
It's a be a fun one, yeah. And we have a guest for the first time, our good friend Tyler.
Hello, what's going on? I'm happy to be here. I love the stunning audio mix in the intro there. Give me a shout out.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here. I've been told 5 minutes ago that I'm hard to book, so I'm grateful to be a part of it and to be invited. And I personally cannot wait until we rank our 1939 films. So
that'll be a fun one, yeah.
Yeah, whenever you get around to that one, just let me know. It's Gone with the Wind or Wizard of Oz for me. So be tough. No.
Of course.
And
we'll also have later in the show, once he joins, we'll have a returning guest, Nikki, whenever he's ready. So just stay tuned for that. But we thought we might as well start right now. So let me bring up the old slideshow.
Shang-Chi!
He's back! Here we go. The count begins.
Here we go.
The disappointment again.
Stop the steal.
This time I won't be that surprised because, nah, not a lot of MCU on this list for me at least. But we should get to it.
Yeah,
I'm excited. Actually, no, I forget what I sent to you, Josh, but I think might be one or two in here. 2021 was a good year. Good year.
Looking for Tom and Jerry.
Tom and Jerry, the classic.
Is it number one? We'll see.
Was Kong versus Godzilla in this? Was that last year?
It was last year.
Yeah.
Will Mortal Kombat be here? Who knows?
God, that was a movie. Yeah.
Forgot
No
that's...
tournament. Come on.
All right. So I thought to change things up, we'll start with some honorable mentions this time. These are 3 movies that just barely missed our top
Real
10.
quick, I can
Oh,
explain to
okay.
the audience like how you do your calculation.
Yeah, so I take everyone's list that they send me individually. I use a point system to like add up if let's say if the film got number 1 on someone's list, it'll be I give it 10 points and so on. And yeah, that's how we got the list. I'll show the points like how the points worked out towards the end, but yeah, it should be a fun one. All right, so it's to honorable mentions.
I'm
Some
guessing.
nice. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess for honorable mentions real quick. A Quiet Place Part 2, a Malignant in here, a
I just know this is an opportunity for us to get angry early because if something you really wanted in the
I
10
know.
shows up now,
Yeah.
then
okay.
it sets a
So-
tone.
It's one set of 3 films as our honorable mentions, not 3 per each of us or anything like that.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
3 that almost had a cumulative.
3 that like were like a point below the 10 place.
Okay.
The top
comes
So
10.
there's are there ties this week? Because normally
There's
you tell
multiple ties.
Multiple ties.
What is
It's all worked out. It's all worked out.
Multiple
And
Josh.
we're not called top 10 this year, so or this
Oh
time.
my
So
gosh!
does that
Oh.
be
That's
10?
true.
More opportunities for Shang-Chi
Exactly.
and
Exactly. I think you should be happy.
Nah, what are you? Critics' Choice Awards always giving ties everywhere? Stop it! Stop it!
Man, he called your legitimacy into question.
I mean, fair.
Josh does a better
Yeah.
job than the Academy, though. That's for sure.
Great
Yeah.
point.
He puts together a show
For this
better
top
than
10,
most people.
yes, I can
Yeah.
say it's better than the Best Picture lineup.
You don't have
let's
Steven
do honorable
Soderbergh direct this?
mentions.
Okay.
We have Spencer, Worst
Mm,
Person in the
what?
World, and Wonderful Life of Louis Wayne.
I hadn't
Thank
even
God
heard of
Louis
it.
Wayne at least got on the
I
screen.
did this just
Thank
to put
I
this and
love that
Spencer
movie.
on. That's why I did this.
Thank
I need to watch.
God.
I need to watch Louis. Is it Louis Wayne?
same.
Electrical
yeah,
Life
it's
of
a
Louis
phenomenal
Wayne.
movie.
It's on Prime.
Carson loved it. I remember he talked about that.
I
love that movie.
wept. I
Yeah.
sobbed in
Same.
this very chair
Oh
watching
my
that
gosh! Really?
movie. It's
It's
so
that
good.
good, dude.
It was my
The
number 3.
cinematography is so fucking good.
It's
Yeah, some of
gorgeous.
the best
yeah.
cinematography of that year.
Literally,
shit.
Benedict Cumberbatch had a great 2021
Mhm.
with obviously No Way Home being his big thing, and then Power of the Dog and Louis Wayne. He gets nominated for Power of the Dog. I like Louis Wayne a lot more.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a better
Wow.
performance.
Wow.
I remember when this came out and everyone on Twitter saw it on the same day, and it was like a tidal wave
Yeah.
of praise from,
And
especially
just
from,
got swept under the rug. Like no one.
Oh, and
talked
Claire
about it.
Foy in this.
yeah,
Oh,
just-
Claire
this is
Foy is
my-
incredible.
She is. That was my supporting actress dark horse, and it never
Me too,
happened.
Yeah.
It didn't happen at a single show, but God, she's amazing.
When did this come
Um,
out? Fall?
Yeah, October.
I think it's
November.
like November.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched it late. I watched it like the January 1st.
Okay.
It's just so good. It's so colorful. It's got a lot of like great directorial choices. The aspect ratio changes. They just really like they made an art movie about an artist, and it's just really really good. Spencer is a thriller disguised as a biopic.
Yeah. Louis Wayne is what like it's what I want biopics to be. Like it makes all the right choices, and it's such like all
It's-
like such a piece of art.
I would put it up there in terms of creativity with like a Rocket Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's
And
very
Elvis, too.
magical realist, sort of surreal. It doesn't
And it-
explain things. It just happens.
Did anyone see the Nikola Tesla film with Ethan Hawke ever?
I did. Yeah, I didn't
No,
love it.
never watched it.
When Josh, correct me. Like, tell me if I'm like feeling the right way about this, because I've seen that film, but I haven't seen Louis Wayne. And from the
Louis
vibe
Wayne
I got,
is-
it was a similar trajectory, or was it not?
I'd say from like on the surface it's similar vibes, but Louis Wayne does so much deeper and it does so many more like unique things with it. Whereas I got bored during Tesla personally.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I'll watch it.
Also-
It's not in it, so
Not
Honestly,
to
the
completely
only good
bury
part
the.
about-
Oh, go ahead.
the only good part about Tesla was the musical number. With
I would like to at
Oh,
least see
man.
that. If Ethan Hawke does a musical number, that's interesting.
yeah,
But
he has Tears for Fears. That was great.
I will say that Worst Person, I don't think made my 10, but it battled for My 9, my 10, and worst person were all mixing in there. All three of these are great. Louis Wayne's my favorite, but worst person is genius, and it should have gotten screenplay.
It's in my top 5. I know it. If I go back and watch our live reactions to the Oscars,
That was a
you
great
can
moment.
see the pain.
Not a great
I
moment
went
for
through
film,
that
but a
night.
great moment for all of us.
You know,
What won Best Original last year instead?
Belfast.
Ugh.
Belfast.
Oh
yeah.
no, not like that.
Preston's pick.
And they were in the category together too. It's not like worst person didn't get a nomination.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh wait,
Preston with his
is worst
perfect
person the one in the
streak.
middle? Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
oh, I didn't realize. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Josh
Yeah,
is
the
just,
poster's so
Josh
different,
is
I
just
think.
cultured, so he
Yeah.
put an
This
international
poster is really
poster.
good. I wanted to use it.
Okay,
It is a
yeah.
good poster.
Dope
I was looking
poster.
at the poster. I'm like, wait, that looks very familiar. I have seen. Okay.
Who
Uh,
am I losing my mind? Who won Best Actress last year?
Jessica Chastain.
Yeah.
Yes, it was
Yeah.
Jessica Chastain. Okay, so that's great. I'm not gonna take that away from her. I was on the Kristen
Not
Stewart
Ryan's, but
train,
should at least got a nomination.
but she should have been nominated.
I
Yeah,
agree.
come
Yeah.
on. I mean, she got it at
She was
Cannes.
close in there.
Yeah, was the Best Actress lineup really stacked last year? You had Chastain.
You had
Chastain,
Chastain, you had Stewart.
Chastain. Stewart naming it in. Yeah, Gaga didn't. It was too,
Gaga
No,
did
yeah,
not, and
she
that
got
was the
snubbed.
big
that was
shocking
funny.
Who else got in?
Shocking.
Was it shocking?
I know.
Oh,
yeah.
Kirsten Dunst got in.
Oh
No,
yeah.
that's
Jennifer
supporting, right?
supporting.
Oh no.
supporting.
Yeah, that was Kirsten was for supporting.
Her and Jesse Plemons both got it for
Yeah.
Power of the Dog,
Mhm.
which I still don't understand, even though I like that movie.
Yeah, they got over nominated for that one. I was like,
Over nominated. Like, I'm not taking away from Jesse Plemons or Kirsten at all.
they're
There is
good.
a lot more.
Those
They're
underrated
always
are-
good.
performances.
Those are intentionally flat roles.
Yes.
It's not bad writing. They're intentionally flat roles. The
Mhm.
I
brother
wouldn't say
is supposed
flat,
to be,
just like really understated.
but just like normal and understated, like in
Yeah.
comparison to him. Like the brother is fairly well adjusted. She's not well adjusted, but she's like, I'm not saying it's hard to play somebody with those problems, but I just felt like
Right.
I understand why she was
Yeah.
nominated, not really Jesse Plemons.
Clemens is the more head scratcher.
Yeah.
They just let
But-
them.
But
All of
Best
these are great.
actress last year was Chastain, Stewart, Olivia Colman, Penelope Cruz, and our queen Nicole Kidman.
Yeah.
I never saw Parallel Mothers, right?
Neither have I.
Yeah, I never watched.
Parallel
it.
Mothers is really good.
Yeah.
I love how those.
What was Nicole up for?
Being the
Ricardo's,
Ricardos.
unfortunately.
Oh, yeah. Not something cool like Destroyer. It had to be being the Ricardos.
Or the AMC ad.
Yeah, honestly.
Right.
How long is the AMC ad in
Like a minute.
in totality? It's only a minute. Man,
A minute.
they gotta make a 15.
We just
that way
fucking
it can
played it, Alden.
qualify. Yeah, but is that the full one or is that your?
Yeah, it's basically
Yeah,
the
okay.
one.
Yeah. They need to make one that can actually be a short film, just for meta purposes.
They
Guys,
made
I
a
didn't
extended
look-
edition, yeah.
I didn't love Spencer. It wasn't on my list.
Didn't?
Neither one of these movies. None of
That's
these
fair.
movies were on my top 10.
Worst person
Spencer-
only made yours, or almost made yours.
Yeah. Okay. So my list changed from the end of last year till now. When I made the list for the pod, I took Worst Person in the World off the top 10 and made some changes. But like Alden said, it's a genius film, and I should revisit it more. I think the reason I didn't include it is because I haven't revisited it since, right? Whereas with Spencer, yeah, it just didn't hit for me. Okay, there was maybe one scene where I was like, okay, I feel like this is like the scene with her and Sally Hawkins towards the end
On the
yeah.
beach.
on the beach. I'm like, I think this is the heart and the core of the film that I think that they were trying to draw out, but I wish it was more prevalent throughout, or maybe then that would have corrupted the thriller.
I think the
think-
third act is amazing in that movie.
Yeah, I think
But-
just Kristen Stewart is the movie. Like that performance is such
Right.
like a
Yeah.
powerhouse of what a
And I don't
performance that,
disagree.
like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm with Tyler a little bit. I think I like the character work, but I think the movie as a whole didn't fully grab me until the end. Like once I started to appreciate it and get it.
Right.
But yeah, it didn't come close to my top 10 yet. I think I have like top 20, something like that.
Yeah, same here.
Crucifix is one of the best pieces of
Yeah, Johnny Greenwood's story, which we'll
Oh, his
bring up
score
his
is
name, I'm
amazing.
Sure,
Of course.
I
multiple
like his
times
pig
tonight.
score, not pig, the Power of the Dog score a bit more. But
I agree.
Crucifix, like Edgar says, is such a great track.
Auden, what are you
Yeah.
saying?
No, I was just thinking about Greenwood and trying to think of what my favorite of his is. It's probably Phantom Thread.
It's
Phantom
Phantom
Thread,
Thread
yeah.
for me.
Oh, yeah,
It's
yeah.
just incredible. But yeah, I mean, you get if these are honorable mentions, then the list is going to be a banger. Like
Yeah.
Sure.
this right here is just. Oh. if Shang-Chi is number 10
Let's go.
right now, I will
I'm
lose my
shocked.
mind.
Yeah, I'll leave.
It's not.
What do we think is number 10?
Let me
I hope
think
it's Shang-Chi. I mean,
Yeah,
I'll
it
tell
is.
you what I hope. If Mitchell's doesn't squeeze in,
I
here,
was just about to
I'm
say
gonna
that.
be
Great job, Mitchell's.
I'm
My
gonna be
guess is
pissed.
Yeah.
I'm with Alden. It's definitely in this list. I wonder where it is.
Mitchell's got in for me at the tail end, right above worst person.
Same. So
Wow.
I'm think Mitchell's is around here. It was Nathan's number 1, I think, or somewhere
Really?
around there. Maybe 2 or 3. But yeah,
I feel like Coda is going to be on the back half of the 5 through 10.
I love me some Coda.
Remember, there's multiple ties. So.
Oh my god!
Uh,
Shoot. All right. Well,
We need a tie protocol in this podcast.
Do we though? It's just an opportunity to like talk about more movies.
Yeah, yes. I'm a competitor though, Josh. Come on.
Evan is like if you play the Game of Thrones, you win or you die. There is no middle ground.
You win or you lose. Okay, let's number 10. Or it could be a
number
quiet place.
10. We have Shiva Baby and
Oh!
Suicide Squad.
Oh,
Double win for
Interesting.
me. Thank
Yeah.
God.
Who had this in the top 10? I didn't have either of these.
I had
not
both.
me.
I have Shiva.
I had
Baby
Shiva
in my
Baby
top
at
10.
number 10.
Dang,
I think I have.
really?
I think
Anybody
I
have
have
Suicide Squad?
Shiva at 6 and Squad at 7. I think.
Where's Squad on my list? Interesting.
I don't have a Suicide Squad on my top 10, but it's like top 15. Top
Yeah,
20.
I like Squad a lot.
Yeah.
I don't really.
So I did
have
in
it up
20s
there.
for me.
Talk about it, Auden. Why do you like Suicide Squad so much?
I adore the Suicide Squad. I'm a big James Gunn fan, going back to Slytherin Super and Scooby Doo. I mean, screenplay. He is just like my type of creator. Guardians 2 is my favorite Marvel film, and setting aside all the real world stuff, we could talk about that for days about how he came to do this for Warner Brothers, while being unfairly, I think, ousted, and before they brought him back. Ended up being an extremely happy accident because between this and Peacemaker, we got a beautiful story. I love the cast here, really proving that Cena is a valuable commodity for film is such an impressive achievement because he easily could have just been another Rock that just played himself and everything. And I think that Margot, Idris, everybody here works so well together. It does a great job of taking what worked about the 2016. Even if that's not much, it was still reinterpreting a lot of it in a way that was like consistent. It was a loose sequel. It's not rebooting it. It's not remaking it. It's not erasing anything, but it's just saying this is how James Gunn wants to tell this is where he would like to start. And it plays with the DC universe. It's big, but it's also intimate. But the reason why I like it a lot, it's got a banger soundtrack too, by the way. It's not worked into the story like with Peter Quill. And honestly, I wouldn't want anyone else to do that because that would feel too derivative at that point. But just the song choices are great. But the reason why I really love it, 2 reasons. A, Daniela Melchior as Ratcatcher 2 is one of the best unknown
she's the highlight.
actress finds. Yeah, probably my favorite unknown casting choice since Daisy Ridley as Rey. Like just finding that person that is like, wow, that's a star. And so I can't wait to see what she does. And then B, the themes. Like this movie is a slam bang, cartoony, ridiculous thing with Polka Dot Man and King Shark, but it's about American interventionism and the destruction of Latin American countries because of the United States and colonialism and abuse of immigrants told through the tail of a giant starfish. Like it's got so much just going for it ideologically, and yeah, and then Shiva Baby is just a gem.
Yeah, I need
I
to
know
watch
more
Shiva
people will talk
Baby.
about that one.
But
Yeah,
I agree
Shiva
with
Baby
you on
is
Suicide
one of the
Squad,
best
yeah.
horror movies of last year.
It
That's
really
an
is.
interesting way to
Anyway.
put it.
Yeah, Shiva Baby is amazing. Okay, I haven't seen Suicide Squad, so you know what I mean. Surprised to see it here, honestly. But Alden, your reading of it and your explanation has piqued my interest. Never
That's
was
what I
interested
do.
in watching it, and I appreciate that. Yeah. And that's, you know what, that's why you were such a good Twitter follow, man, because you were putting me on to things. So
He gives you passages and book pages to read.
yeah, exactly.
And at that, Alden Diaz.
There you go. Get it in there. I'm plugging you, man. Free promo. No, but I agree with Josh. Shiva Baby is terrifying, horrifying, incredibly effective.
Is it
feels
still on
like
HBO Max?
Yeah,
Is
I
it?
think
believe
so.
so.
Man,
I'll
I'm
watch it before it leaves.
yeah.
It's
They're
just-
just dumping
it's-
everything now.
Such a assured debut from Emma Sullivan too. Like
Mhm.
the confidence of the way she shoots.
Yeah.
So like most of the scenes is incredible.
It's like every little choice, everything of like the ambiance always having overlapping dialogue, lower in the mix, so you never feel like you're away from another conversation. That with all the tight shots, like it induces anxiety.
For sure.
And like you said with Daniela Melchior, like Rachel Sennell is a star, and like she's gonna go places. She already is going places from this movie,
Bodies,
and she was
bodies,
incredible. Yeah.
How was she in Bodies, Bodies, Bodies? For those who saw it.
Nobody has seen it.
haven't
Oh, I
seen
thought,
it, yeah.
I thought it was out. I thought you saw it last night, Edgar.
No.
I wanted
thought
to.
I thought it was gonna come out this weekend, but I guess it's next weekend. So
I thought it came out this weekend too. I guess I'm not paying attention. Sorry.
All
But
right.
yeah, I saw her in the trailer for that film. I'm like, oh yeah, she was pretty damn good in Shiva Baby. It's a
Mhm.
good small film.
the dad in this movie is like so frustrating in like the
Yeah.
funniest possible way.
Yeah.
All
good
right.
stuff.
You ready to move on?
Yeah, I mean, like again, this is such a strong year. We could talk about any of these for hours.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, but I mean, I could talk about Shiva Baby if you want to talk about it more, but we could also move on. Whatever you want to do.
All right. Let's move on. Number 9,
Mitchell's?
West Side Story.
Whoa! What?
Okay,
Whoa.
all right.
Me and
I didn't have
Tyler
this.
brought
Who did
this
this?
one.
Who did
Didn't
I
this?
have
brought
it.
this one up. Wait, Josh, was I
Tyler.
highest on this one?
No, I
This
had
is
it at
rigged.
like 5 or 6.
Wow!
Okay. Yeah. I think it was at 4 for
Rigged.
me.
Wow!
Yeah. This one's a banger. Does anyone want to talk about this film? I can talk about it.
You go ahead,
Tower,
Let's
go for it.
Yeah.
Okay, West Side Story. I'm decorating my classroom right now for my teaching gig next year, and West Side Story
Yes.
is the first poster I hung.
Beautiful.
I truly believe
Yes,
that
Mike Vice Nation. That's right.
Great
hard
point,
agree,
yeah.
Kaylee. Mike Vice Nation, rise up.
Should have been nominated.
I'm a believer after this film. Yeah, it is one of the most I think one of the most like exhilarating theater experiences I had last year. It was one of those times where like I distinctly remember like exactly how I felt watching it and afterwards in the theater. I think like everything I just love the story of it, right? Like how everything this last year was delayed by like 3 or 4 years or whatever. But
Mhm.
when we all first found out that there was a Spielberg West Side Story, I think there was a collective groan across the whole world. Like, does this need to exist?
I didn't groan. So
What?
out there.
You
I did
didn't?
not groan. I
Neither
fought
did
the
I.
groaners.
Yeah.
If we had all been talking about it at the time, we would have all fought. I was defending Grandpa Steven.
And same. I've been on the defense squad the whole time. I've been waiting for my advertisement check for this film because I've been doing free promo for the past 5 years.
Yeah, where the
And-
shield checks at, Steven.
Yeah, where are they at? I want them. But yeah, amazing film. It's one of those like remake sort of rehashes that actually proves its reason to exist in the first
It
place.
brings something new to it. Like,
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like both versions of the film need to exist. And when I talk about this movie and about the story of West Side Story, like I can recommend both versions of the film on different merits. And that is like such a rare thing, I think, especially when it comes to like studio rehashes.
Mhm.
But yeah, banging music. I love the restructuring of the film, which
Yes.
It's really interesting how they like restructure around the musical numbers. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, the I Feel Pretty number is like a completely different number in this
Exactly.
movie.
Yep.
It's really effective too.
Oh wait,
how they
yeah,
restructured
Is
it,
anyone
yeah.
else here a theater kid?
No.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So like, this is one of those things where it's like, not only Hollywood was this always the specter of this movie was always hanging over. Like, it was one of the things that hadn't yet been remade, movies wise. Legendary show. So when you hear about it, I understood the groans, but it's those choices that are Spielbergian things where it's like going back to ET. Like there are things in there that you just keep discovering and keep unpacking, and all the way up to this where technicality, the technical side, all the different technicalities and intricacies of the camera, but then it's choices like that of saying, well, what about this iconic song, but we just move it, and how that just creates a different flavor is the type of stuff that only a master does. And that's why even though this isn't in my 10, I was so excited for it because, and it turned out so well. I mean, Rachel Ziegler should be in that Daniela Melchior, Daisy Ridley conversation too. Because I was excited to see somebody who's done it all and won it all and tackled it all check off one of the last boxes he hadn't checked off.
Yeah.
And Spielberg is not a song and dance man.
That's the thing, is that like with this movie, you would think he's a professional at musicals.
Yeah.
Like,
I
how
know.
effortless
There's
he
that
nails
interview
it.
where he talks about directing to a metronome and how he's like, you know, you need to, he goes, you think it's about feeling it, but really it's really mathematical. And it's like, that's why he's fucking Steven Spielberg.
Yeah.
Don't doubt him. Don't let Warhorse through Ready Player One make you doubt him.
Yeah.
No, not even that. Not the
Warhorse.
Oh,
yeah,
I
did
like
he do the
Warhorse, but yeah.
Did he do the BFG?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that movie was not good.
BFG, Ready Player One were not his highest highs.
I like Ready Player One, but yeah,
It's good.
The Post, I think, is better than those. I will say.
The Post is like legitimately like deserving of best.
Post is very solid.
Nom at least. Yeah, I like that movie.
I also. How do we feel about Bridge of Spies while we're talking about him?
It's solid. It's good. Yeah, solid.
Never seen it.
I already forgot about it.
I didn't mind it. Like I watched it on a Saturday morning. I was like, oh, it's fine. It's a solid movie.
You know, since we're already talking about this, you know what would be a pretty good episode? Top 10
Spielberg.
That would be
top 10 musicals.
I need to see 10 more musicals.
Musical would be
No.
musical would be very intense.
Yeah.
That would be an intense one.
But yeah, I like this movie. I just didn't connect with it emotionally as much as I thought I would. I love Rachel. I love the cast overall. Ariana DeBose is fantastic.
She's the
Mike
highlight of the
Feist
movie for me.
Yeah.
for sure.
Mike Feist is like
great.
my highlight. He was incredible.
And the direction really seals the deal. Like Auden was saying, like Tyler was saying, like Spielberg direction during these sequences are incredible. I just wish I could.
That's why this movie is so high for me, because it's not about the story. It's a story we've already seen done like for centuries, honestly, going back to like Romeo and Juliet.
Right.
So, and I understand him not wanting to like change it that much, because you don't change that story or like drastically change it for a West Side Story.
Yeah.
And
It's
what he
just the
does
choices
change
that are, like, the
really
lens.
fits. Yeah.
Yeah. Like the gender swapped role that Rita gets, and then the not subtitling the Spanish exchanges and things like that.
And it's even the small things, like Alden saying, like the small thing, even down to like rearranging the cool number and you know, giving it to Anza Elgort, which goes from my least favorite track number in the first iteration of the film to one of my favorite songs and the most important thematically in this film. It's like those instinctual things that I think Spielberg and team bring to this version to justify its mere existence. And what it's like so small and so subconscious, but so effective. And that's why it's so high on my list, because I kind of wanted to overcompensate, because I feel like those small things get slept on because they're not body, you know what I mean? Like they're small instinctual, like writer's room things that I think make a big difference.
Yeah.
And Janusz Kaminski's cinematography is outstanding. Like
it's beautiful.
The long takes, the wide shots, the way it's just so dynamic. The number in the gym is one of my favorite sequences of last year.
Yeah.
The way the camera moves is just
that was
like,
trending forever. That's great.
And
every day you log into Twitter, you would see that tweet with that.
As it should.
Right.
Sure,
I was watching the original West Side Story right before I watched this one, just to kind of catch up. And in the original, they had like this sort of analog, you know, split diopter type of thing where they're like blurring out everyone except for those two main leads. And I'm like, dude, there's no way Spielberg does it cooler than this. Like, come on, this is fucking insane. And then it's
the bleachers.
Then the bleachers. Yeah, you're right. all of it's awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Love
that
it.
was a slight surprise, but I'm glad it was there.
What do we think is number 8?
Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi's like 15 or something.
It's probably like Quiet Place 2 or something because Josh had that at like
No.
1 or something.
Yeah, I
No.
don't think that's on this list. But I didn't think this was gonna be on this list. What's that story? But
I'm gonna guess No Time to Die. I don't know. All right, it's not on my top 10, but I'm guessing.
wow,
Hmm.
Scott. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not on
No
mine
Time to
either.
Die. Wow. Oh
It was probably in my top 15.
no. In that case, it better be number 8 or above. It better
It's
be one of these
11
fucking
for me.
ties.
It's
11.
11.
Is this my new Shang-Chi? Do I have a new
Probably
Do I have a new main character I gotta follow? Shit. Yeah.
character development.
Yeah. No Time to Die then. Yeah. I need to see it. It's a masterpiece. What's number 8?
All right. So
Show me
number
the
8 is
money.
another tie.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Our first tie of the stream here.
Way to tie on that.
Oh,
number
no,
10.
actually, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Second tie, yeah.
Okay.
All right. So we have In the Heights and Licorice Pizza.
Whoa!
Interesting.
Licorice got in. Okay, Licorice was like my 11 or
Interesting.
12, I think.
I'd never seen Licorice.
It's my number 4.
It was,
Wow.
you know, a little controversial, but I really loved it. I love PTA. In the Heights was my 9, so very happy about that. I love
And the
both
Heights
of
is
these.
high for me. This is like a number
In the Heights
4 or
is
5.
like 30s, 40s for me.
That's
In the-
crazy.
You're a monster.
Oh,
I'm the
In
same way.
In the
Tyler!
Heights.
Josh, don't worry, brother. We can be ostracized together. I didn't
Yeah,
love it.
you guys go
Exactly.
home.
We have the same
The-
musical tastes.
It's the
The-
best musical of 2021.
It's a better musical.
It is the best
better
musical.
musical.
Is it though?
It's
Yeah.
the best
Yes.
musical. Totally. It's In
Yes.
the Heights, and then brushing right up against it is Tick Tick Boom. Then it's
Dude.
my side.
Thank
No,
you,
no,
Alden.
no.
I agree with that completely.
All right.
Oh wait,
I respect your take, but
Tick Tick might be in
And
In
that-
the Heights
And that
was
is higher than In the Heights.
Oh, you shut the fuck up right now. How dare you? How
What?
how dare
What?
you? In the Heights is
And that is
coherent.
fantastic.
Annette
Annette
is
is up there, bro.
masterfully crafted.
What is a net?
The Adam
Adam
Driver,
Driver.
Oh
Where's
yeah, I
that?
never saw that. I never
Simon
saw that.
Helberg from Big Bang,
Sparks Brothers.
who's actually really good. in it.
Yes, yes.
No, and Annette is not coherent. It's
Can we
it's
talk about
just,
Annette for a second? Because Simon Helberg, that
Should we?
conjecture like 360 shot.
no, it's a great shot.
masterpiece.
Great shot.
But In the
um,
Heights, though, let's talk about
yeah,
that
In the
Heights.
Heights.
Because
In the
I
Heights
adore
was
this
my
movie.
first movie back in theaters
Oh, nice.
during COVID. So just being there was already kind of emotional. And then I'm Puerto Rican. My entire family's Puerto Rican. So that adds a layer because Lynn is Puerto Rican and Hamilton. And it was all this build, especially because Hamilton had come out on Disney Plus during COVID as well. And so it was in the zeitgeist again. So I was listening to the Broadway soundtrack of In the Heights, waiting for this. I only knew Anthony and I knew Corey Hawkins from like Walking Dead. He's the guy with the dreads.
The bad
Um,
dreads. Oof.
The bat dreads and the
He's
ponytail
in
dreads
Walking
and,
Dead?
and
Yes.
the glasses.
He's not great. I mean,
Yeah,
he's good, but it's like
He's good, but the characters,
the
whatever.
character. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this movie is fantastic, and
Oh my
Olga Merediz as Abuela Claudia should have gotten a Best Supporting nomination.
100%.
Still salty about that one.
But
so,
let me. Leslie Grace is a star, and
Rip that girl.
Oh yeah.
Sad.
Yeah,
sad-
yeah.
sad
Oh, this
week.
gives us an opportunity to be angry too.
I
I didn't even
know.
realize it.
This is her first big movie role, and she crushes it completely. Same goes for I don't know about what's her name? Is it Moreira?
Melissa Barrera.
Melissa,
Melissa Barrera,
yeah. She was in
Melissa
Scream
Barrera.
also.
Grim.
Yeah.
She was great in
She's
that.
in the new Scream, which I adore. She's great. She's definitely one of my favorite like up and coming stars.
That girl.
This movie is just it flows so well. I love the cast so much. All the dance numbers are memorable. Every single one.
Mhm.
Maybe that's why I have it a bit above West Side Story because I think it's the numbers and the sequences are a bit more memorable,
Energetic.
than West Side Story for me. But I just love like the whole theme about it, the whole like the vibe is just perfect. I adore this movie. I saw it like 2 times in theaters and once on HBO Max. So yeah, I adore this one. 99, what is it? 99,000?
96,000.
That number, I will say,
96.
that number is fantastic.
Yeah,
It's amazing. 96,000
96,000.
technically is obviously the centerpiece, but Carnaval del Barrio Cara de Val.
That's the one when the grandma's dying. That one.
No, that's
the one when the power goes
Paciencia.
down.
Yeah, the power's out and they're in between all the buildings and they
Got it.
throw that party.
Yeah.
But oh no, when she's dying, the Paciencia Ife is like it's unbelievable. Yeah, everybody in the theater was bawling during that.
Oh, and the opening sequence is killer.
Yeah,
love
the
that
choreography is, and again, a lot of this comes down to like theoretically, if we just made up a moviegoer, let's say his name's Zach, and Zach like really loves show tunes, classic show tunes. That's going to be a part of it too, where that's going to elevate it up. Or Tick Tick Boom is more for rock people, at least in certain most of the numbers than this is. Like if you're not a fan of hip hop, rap, and Latin music, Hamilton and In the Heights are probably just not going to hit you, which is the other factor.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I was so bummed this movie didn't like perform well.
I know. In the Heights was like one of the first times once movies were like starting to come back to movie theaters.
Yeah,
where like you could just feel like the energy of the audience was like so freaking good, and especially the one that I went to because it was like I went to like this like Mother's Day special screening, like a month early special screening at AMC, something like that. I don't remember. But
well, I went to that too. I went there. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's incredible. For me, it's like the best musical of the year. It's the movie that I owe my internship job for, because I always like log my movies on Letterboxd, and they found me through there because of this movie. So
wow, nice.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
Let's go.
But yeah, it's incredible. Yeah. Also, not a lot of people point this out, this musical number from this movie, but like the one from with Leslie Grace and Corey Hawkins.
Yes, so good.
When the
like
sun
on the side of the building.
Really good,
Yeah.
Well, they have two. They have When You're Home, where they go through the whole city, which is just such a feel good one. Technically, they have three because they have Benny's Dispatch at the beginning of the movie. Where he's working, and that's when she first sings, and you're in the theater and you're like, oh my god, who is this? Which apparently a lot of people already knew who she was, because I guess she was already a thing. I just didn't know she was already a thing in her music career. But yeah, When the Sun Goes Down, that's such a creative choice, and that's the thing we talked about with either remaking things, adapting from the stage is the same mentality. Like, what can you do that a Broadway audience can't see? Right. You have to make it worth changing. With this Wicked movie that they're making, which I'm not excited for the casting reasons.
Is it the same director?
It is the same director, and that's the thing, is that it's like he's got to do, and I believe in him, but it's like you got to go hard with like the magic and stuff.
How can you pass on Amanda Seyfried for Ariana Grande?
Great point. Yeah.
It's
unbelievable.
It's peak. Like, a lot of movies get shit for stunt casting, but that is the peak of stunt casting.
Yeah.
Also, while we're talking about casting, Alana Haim, one of the greatest debuts I've ever seen.
Sure.
Crazy good.
She's takes over the movie, and it's a groundbreaking performance, honestly. It's so good.
She's unreal. The whole cast is great. I mean, Bradley Cooper as John Peters is amazing. But yeah, Alana is like, wow. Like, I could not believe that. It's almost unfair.
Welcome to the show, Mr. Nicky.
Oh man.
There he is.
Good evening.
Somebody tell Nicky about the controversies thus far.
All right, so catch them up real quick. Let's go back. Number 10, we got Shiva Baby and Suicide Squad.
We have multiple ties this time.
Multiple ties.
There's so many movies.
We go back to honorable mentions, just in case.
Spencer, worst person in the world, Uli Win.
Ooh.
Then we got number 9, West Side Story.
Okay.
So
8, which is wrong.
Were any of those on your list, Nikki?
So no Shang-Chi.
I haven't seen any of these.
Oh, wow.
no Shang-Chi and no Time to Die.
It better be on this list.
Which is the new Shang-Chi.
Wait, Suicide Squad was on yours, Nikki, which is why I got it.
Oh, it was. Yeah. Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
So I blame Nikki. Okay. Shang-Chi is the best comic movie of last year, but anyway. Anyways,
Who else had Licorice Pizza on their list?
I did. Number 4.
So did I. I had it up pretty high as well.
So should I watch this movie? You guys like this?
It's good. In the words
I
of
think
Evan, it's good.
it's gonna, you're gonna be hard pressed to find a PTA movie not in my top 10 whenever there's one. Just because I think he's such a singular filmmaker, like living right now, and so sort of acknowledging sort of like his greatness is sort of like I'm investing in the history of him. So like in like 20 years from now or 50 years from now when we're studying his work, you know, I invested on the ground level in a way. But
I think that Tyler's hitting on me specifically right now.
Yeah,
I feel very romanced by everything you just said. That's exactly how I feel. Like PTA, much like Quentin, coming from that same 90s class.
Yeah,
they're not going to be for everybody, but the eventized energy that they carry with them, you don't get anymore. It sort of died with actually Nolan was probably the last one where like we're starting to get it back a little bit. Peele and Taika are sort of grabbing that feeling again. But I remember seeing it happened with The Hateful Eight more. The Hateful Eight in theaters. I saw the Roadshow and the lights go down and it comes up. They played an overture beforehand, and then it says the 8th film by Quentin Tarantino, and people clapped just at that. Wow. Same thing happened with Phantom Thread. A few people clapped when it was like, Paul Thomas, whatever his production company label is, and you don't get that. But like Quentin, not everybody's gonna like PTA movies because they're super slice of life. They're sometimes the resolutions are just in the character. Exactly.
Nailed it.
Nice, dude. Nailed that. You nailed it, dude.
I'll see you guys later.
All right.
Bye. Thanks. Thank you. I don't want to. I feel like we could spend forever litigating the whole she's in her 20s and he's a teenager thing.
That's where like the ending kind of doesn't work as much for me.
Yeah, like I get that the ending. Spoilers for Licorice Pizza, I guess. So Alana, who plays a character named Alana, is 25 when it starts, and Gary's 15 when it starts. It is shown visually that a lot of time is going by, at least 2 like summers, because of the everything. Really? So I think when the movie ends, Gary is 17, so still not okay.
What happened at the end?
they share a kiss before they run off, and the camera cuts.
Oh,
but it's so fantasy all of a sudden, right at the end, that you're almost not sure if this is Gary doing the storybook ending. But if you're gonna do that, make it clear.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think I agree. I think I was thinking about. I recently watched it. And at the end, she says, "I love you, Gary," and then it cuts. Right? There's no response from him, which I think kind of leans into the that reading of like, oh, this is like sort of his fantasy now. Because
I never thought about that.
In your own like, does that kind of make sense?
She's going. The crux of the movie and why I think it works is that you have a young person, a young our age person in her 20s who's like makes a last gasp to hold on to youth. And throughout the movie, she chooses, I'm going to get the real job. I'm going to grow up. You all need to grow up. I'm not babysitting you guys anymore. And he's the young kid who's always tried to be really, really grown up, reaching above. So she's reaching down, he's reaching up. And they're able to, cross paths at this point in their lives. And at the end, she's running, and it's like running in reality because of what her life is at that moment. He leaves his arcade and runs, and it's like, but they're still passing each other. And so for it to stop in that way, it was an artful choice. I'd like to talk to PTA about it, but I feel like people really got on his ass about the age gap stuff, and I don't want to contribute to it. But
I don't know. I think like to speak to that, like thematic reading, Alden, you brought up, like I think there's no better scene that epitomizes the thesis of the film other than when they're at Tail the Cock and Alana's sitting with Sean Penn's character and Gary comes in, and there's like a moment where like the camera sort of pans in between these two groups of main characters, and like Tom Waite and Sean Penn's characters are like playing like swords with their forks, acting like
Mhm.
2-year-olds, and then it pans over to like Gary and his like high school friends trying to order martinis and keep it composed. And I'm like,
Yeah.
here's what the movie's about. This
Yeah.
is what the movie's about, right? Grown men acting like kids and kids trying to act like adults, right? And I think at the heart of the film, that's what I think PTA is trying to elicit. And I would love to talk to him about that age gap thing too.
100%.
As well.
And I will say this, and people can clip this out and get angry at me if they want, but I've maintained it since the movie was announced. You, not anyone here, but you, the moviegoer, are not allowed to celebrate Call Me by Your Name and then bash this movie. You're just not. I'm sorry, because that's an adult and a teenage boy, and they literally bang.
Very clearly an adult, like
They
30.
literally bang. He's very clearly an adult.
Yeah.
What's his name? Enzo or Elio in the movie? Elio is clearly a kid.
Yeah.
Alana and Gary, nothing ever happens. He sees boobs for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
From a distance. Nothing happens. She does not take advantage of this kid, in my opinion. And I just think that it's sort of like in the we need to stop that, marginalized groups can't be problematic. Like, just because that's a gay love story doesn't mean he didn't take advantage of that young boy. Like, he 100%. Did. So
I also think that it's lazy criticism. I think Licorice Pizza was a victim of lazy criticism that became viral on TikTok. And I think that happens to a couple movies here and there. And there's nothing wrong with criticism on TikTok. But it's reductive and not critical. And I think that it wasn't fair, even though I love having conversations about it. I think it tainted the lens of a lot of people who went to go see the film after sort of understanding what the controversy was, because it sort of rolled out.
Exactly.
That controversy came out when the film was only showing in LA, because I saw it at the same screening. Like that night I walked out of the screening in the 70 mil screening, and that's when the TikTok blew up, and it was only showing in LA and New York. So everyone knew about this before it even went wide. Yeah. And I have a tweet. I don't have a Twitter anymore, but my tweet was, "Oh boy, I can't wait to see Twitter in 3 weeks when Licorice Pizza comes out." And guess what?
That's what happened.
I think the more fair criticism of the movie is its portrayal of like Asian Americans.
The Asian,
that whole thing. That's a lot more fair to argue.
Yeah. Again, setting context for people that haven't seen it that are watching. Like, there's a guy in Gary's like business circle, an older guy who has a wife in the film who's, I don't even think they name, who's from Japan, and she wears traditional Japanese garb. It doesn't speak English, which, like, that's fine. Yeah. But the husband is constantly doing an offensive accent to talk to her. And it's like, I get that he's wrong. Yeah. Like, I get that.
I get that it was wrong. Like to play that character as like we're joking on this character, but it's still wrong to do.
It just doesn't go far enough. If you're gonna do that, you need to have someone like Gary be like, "Hey, that's fucked up." You have to call it. You have to add to it.
That's one of like the most interesting sort of like sort of theoretical arguments I remember in media of like, when is satire on racist people also racist? Because I remember my favorite show, 30 Rock, gotten hot water for it because I think they did like some form of blackface to show how ridiculous like what the thing was, but it like, it becomes this thing of like, oh, when are you not doing enough to not sort of contribute to it? So yeah, exactly. It's one of those things too. It's like, I don't even know where the answer is, but I think like the point is to talk about where the answer might be, and not to say like, well, that's just bad.
Yeah, it's not like, oh, PTA, you're racist. It's, hey, PTA, you could have been more precise, more clear. You could have gone further. Like, there's always a thing, and some people do it really well. I think like a 90s example, another 90s director, Kevin Smith, in Chasing Amy, he has one of the characters say, it's in one of his old Q&As that you could buy DVDs of, a fan who says, I thought it was offensive that in Chasing Amy, you put forth the thesis that all a lesbian needs is a good dicking to turn straight. And he says, that's not the thesis I put forward, because I put that in the mouth of the character who is definitively wrong. And whoever in the film argues against and who has to
Yeah.
go through a change and almost loses one of his friendships. And he's like, that's, so if you're going to do something like that, you got to twist. You have to actually, like Gary and his friends, like if they had like stolen that guy's car, or beat him up, or like, like invited his wife to hang out or something like that. Like,
Yeah.
anything like that still would have been in the character, but making it clear that young people are going to not be that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a complicated one. But it's no Shang-Chi.
It's not.
That's
It's not on the list. Audience, stop mentioning it.
Anyway,
I'm a believer, man. I'm a believer.
But yeah,
Luca
Licorice
movie.
Pizza is a lot more of a vibes movie for me.
Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah.
compared to like Phantom Thread, where it's way more like
Phantom Thread is you think a
story and
disaster is coming
narrative
the whole
focused.
time.
yeah.
Yeah. I need to rewatch Phantom Thread. I loved it the first time, but I haven't seen it
It's so
since
good.
theaters.
Nikki Kumar, noted Phantom Thread memer.
I did. I had 2 in a row.
She.
What is that word?
What's next? No
So what
Time
do we
to
think of
Die.
number 7?
No
We
time
have-
to die.
I'm gonna keep saying it because it better be on the. I'll be shocked if it's not
Let's
on
go
this list.
for Luca.
Oh my God. Was that last year?
Was that last year?
It
Wow.
was.
It's got to be something I'm not seeing.
I think this is like 30 or 40s.
It's got to be something I've not seen.
I'll
It's,
say-
So
it's
I'll
No
say
Time to Die.
Mitchell. Mitchell.
No Time to Die.
Mitchell's.
Oh, maybe it's
I'll let
tied
you
with No
know
Time to
that.
Die. Let's go. No Time to Die is
in
on this list.
unprecedented form, we
Oh, three?
have
Three
Ooh.
movies?
four-way
Wait.
tie.
What?
No, wait.
Josh,
What are you showing me?
Whoa!
Come
First
on.
$5 podcast.
We gotta make these movies fight.
Josh. Josh.
Boom is this low? What happened, guys?
Josh, we're out of line.
What
all right?
happened?
You've gone too far.
That's how it works.
Your scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they could. Yeah. You said multiple ties. You didn't say one of them was a 4-way.
Wait, wow, wait. Oh my God.
Hey, whoever
We need to
has
vote on
just for fun, whoever does the show Twitter, do a 4-way poll right now.
Ooh, okay.
Let's do that.
Do a 4-way poll and give it like a couple of hours. To give it the shortest time frame.
Who hyped up Macbeth? I haven't seen it.
I've seen it. It's great.
Oh, I did. It's my number
What should
4.
I say? Does
I
like
I think it was
like,
also 4 for me.
pick
should
a
have been one,
film or
though.
like which is your favorite or
It's
something?
14 for me.
Yeah, it's like which
Yeah,
like
just-
say we had a 4-way tie on the show. Which is your favorite?
Ticket Boom is low. This should be number 2, 3, or 1.
Yeah, I
Wow.
This
agree.
year was so
Hey.
packed that I love Tick Tick Boom, and it's not in my 10.
I didn't see
Audie!
it.
It's not on my
so-
10 either.
Nikki!
It's my 12.
And I love it.
Nick, you haven't seen it?
Mitchell's
God.
is my
So-
10.
So
Tick
this is-
Tick's not on my 10. Coda's not on my 10.
Wow.
But Macbeth is my number 4.
Mitchell's
Wow.
isn't on your 10, Alden?
Mitchell's is my 10.
It's your 10, okay.
Mitchell's
The
is
only
10.
Yeah,
movie,
Mitchell's and Macbeth
Wow.
are in mine.
the only
Wow.
movie out of these 4 that I have on my top 10 is Mitchell's.
What?
Me
Nikki,
too, yeah.
Nikki was
Guys,
the one, like he
what the
always
fuck?
does. Nikki is the king of recommendations, where he was like, "You
I
gotta
think
watch." Mitchell's,
Coda
you gotta
only
watch
got
Mitchell's."
in because of Tyler and Evan.
As it
You
should. It's a
bastard.
fucking fantastic
Yeah.
movie.
Coda is amazing. yo.
Mr. Best
Is it
Picture right
though?
here.
Yes.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, man.
It's better than a lot of other best pictures.
Coda is
Oh
like
I mean,
yeah.
that's
it's commercial
I mean-
as hell and schmaltzy as hell, but like does it like with a
It doesn't
heart.
matter.
that is
It
true.
doesn't
That
matter.
is true.
The
Yeah.
feels work 100%.
100%. I
Yeah,
agree.
this movie is so heartfelt.
Mhm.
What's the main actress's name? She's fantastic.
Amelia.
Um,
I don't know.
the father is
Julia
brilliant.
Jones.
This movie just
Yeah.
spoke to me. It spoke to my heart so well. Like this movie just, it's a perfect vibe. It's a perfect just. I had no qualms with it when it ended. I watched this. I was like, this is a 5 out of 5 movie for me.
Dude.
I love the family dynamic.
Yep.
I love the way the movie is just told in the perspective they went with here, and the delicacy too. Working with the all death cast
Sure.
was fantastic.
Yeah.
She should have been nominated for best director. I think.
Yeah.
She was amazing. I'm so happy it got best
I
adapted
support it.
screenplay too.
Support it.
Yeah.
Coda
Uh,
Coda
oh my
des-
God.
deserves, all the recognition it got, that late push for best picture or whatever, but even not within the Academy context, it's such a banger, fundamentally sound film. It's like, I guess another way I could put it is like, it's so teachable. Does that make sense?
Mm.
Yes.
Like, it's super textbook, but not in the way that's like moan and groan textbook, like so textbook.
I think it's like
Textbook.
Coda to me has if a movie was a person, Coda to me is like Ron Howard.
What?
Like where it's
That's
like
a great
like
comparison.
when you say like when Ron Howard took over Solo, I have to bring everything back to Star Wars, but when Ron Howard took over Solo, that was like the most "we gonna be fine" choice like ever. Like
Sure.
Ron Howard, there is no Ron Howard shot. There is no Ron Howard needle drop. There is no sexy Ron Howard motif. There's no foot fetish. There's no nothing that you can
Yeah.
track across his movies. It's just dependable craftsmanship.
Yeah.
That shit is just solid. And Coda, same. There are scenes I remember. It's a fundamental family dramedy, dramedy, just like it's just a family flick, and in a way that they don't do them anymore. And that's how I feel about Ron Howard. It's Apollo 13. It's a little Apollo 13. It's a little Grinch. It's a little Star Wars. It's a little documentary here and there.
Yeah.
It's just got it.
Yeah.
Rush.
Yeah, and I also I don't
Rush.
like the Hallmark criticism it got. Like, oh, this is just a Hallmark movie. Just because Hallmark movies make you feel good, it's like, I'm sorry, movies not supposed to make you feel good. Like,
Right.
Coda just makes me feel good.
People
It's a
look
very-
down on sentimentality.
Right?
and they
It's just
shouldn't.
like, oh, it's just small scene. It's like, oh, I'm like,
That's how I
yeah,
feel.
and-
Look, dude. As a 6th season This Is Us enjoyer,
Yes.
like 6 years I watched
watched
that show, and
Same.
hearing people say, "Alden, it's emotionally manipulative." Good,
Oh,
good.
I hated that criticism. I'm like,
Let it work.
I hate
and-
that term so much
It
because
works.
art is supposed to be manipulative.
Like, That's
Yeah.
why there's a form that people learn and schools dedicated to it
Mhm.
because it's a practice.
Yes, I agree. I loved Coda so much. I think it was like number 3 of the year, right in front of In the Heights. But yeah, I loved Dakota so much. Great movie. But Tick Tick Boom. Which one
Before
did I
that,
say? Yeah.
I just tweeted out the poll. So if you're watching, go check out our
Let me
Twitter in
retweet
the
it too.
bottom right corner and vote for your favorite.
Let me see what Jalen has to say,
Vote,
my brother.
vote.
Yeah, I think you might go
Vote, aye.
Mitchell's because we loved Mitchell's.
Oh, that's right. Mitchell's. Yeah. So Nicky Kumar is the king of recommendations for movies and TV. He's never ever steered me wrong, not once. I don't know if it's because he's that good at it or because he just knows that like what I like and I'm easy. But I watched Mitchell's.
Go with I'm good at it.
I watched Mitchell's and I paused it 6 minutes in just so I could text Nikki and say, I'm 6 minutes into this and I'm in love with it. Like
It's incredible. Yeah.
it's like the most like your introduction to this family is on par with any of the iconic introductions I can remember. You understand exactly what's happening emotionally like that, and then the ride just like never stops. I feel like Into the Spider-Verse and this are up there with like Miyazaki for like if you sit down somebody that like loves cinema and you show them Mitchell's like and they don't respond, like I don't get that.
It's
like,
a
Martin
movie
Scorsese does it.
for film fans. Like as
Yeah.
much as accessible as it is, it's for like people. like
That's why I'm voting for Macbeth in our poll.
But yeah, Mitchell's. It's like it's
I mean, it
one
is
of
the
the most
best one.
relatable movies I've seen. It's so good. I
Yeah,
just
it-
finished rewatching it before this podcast. And
Oh,
I
nice!
love
I
that
need
movie
I
so
need to
much.
watch it. I think I have the Blu-ray.
That
because the
Blu-ray set
extras
is
are great.
amazing.
Yeah.
Mitchell's
Yeah.
is cool.
I love the animation style. The family dynamic is super relatable, comfortable, very fun, energetic. The vibe is amazing throughout this entire movie. It's very heartwarming too. Heartfelt, heartwarming. That's like all three of these: Coda, Mitchell's, Tick Tick Boom. They just make me feel great and fantastic. I mean, Tick Tick Boom is pretty sad once you like the context a little bit, but all these are just very heartwarming movies. Mitchell's though, the animation. I love animated projects. Animation, like some of my favorite TV shows of all time are animation, and Mitchell's vs. the Machines is just the peak animated. What I love about animated movies, just the willingness to be crazy, chaotic, fun, but still be very coherent, heartwarming.
Still have so much heart. Like
Yeah,
the
and
most
have a lot
amount of heart of these movies. I think.
Exactly, and they have so much to say too. Lord and Miller did just a fantastic job with this movie.
Yeah.
Sony
Some of the
Pictures
best
Animation is on
comedy
a
of the
fucking
year.
roll right now.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yes. And next year should have been this year, but next year, Spider-Verse 2. I literally teared up watching this teaser for Spider-Verse 2.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Also, shout out to whoever on the Ms. Marvel team watched Mitchell's. and then
Yeah,
decided to
very same aesthetic.
incorporate some of that in a good way. Like if you're gonna rip shit off,
Yeah.
money.
Money. Speaking of
Somebody
money,
somebody who was watching just texted
Oh.
me and said, if you say Macbeth one more time instead of saying the Scottish play, I'm going to lose it. Look,
We're
that
not on
superstition.
We're not on
That
stage.
superstition only applies in a theater.
Yeah, we're not in the theater.
Outside of a theater, I could say Macbeth. I don't care if you're stingy about it.
Speaking of Macbeth, like what an achievement in like
Yeah.
filmmaking. I as someone who doesn't connect much to Shakespearean like text and that kind of
Dialogue.
fair.
The best part is that I didn't see who did that because I was looking straight.
But given that, I still like this movie production design, costumes, cinematography, especially like the performances. Denzel Washington deserving of like
un-
of the nom he got. Probably made show
unreal.
one. Like he was incredible.
Especially
Yeah.
after that night, I bet you everyone agrees. Everyone that did not vote, everyone that voted for
And Will Smith is great too.
Oh,
It's
Will,
that
yeah.
if Frasier didn't go as hard as he did on Dune, this would have been my pick for cinematography.
Yeah,
Really?
definitely.
Like it is
gorgeous.
genius. Like let me just say, and if you don't like this movie, you'll like it when you grow up.
That's
Okay.
for you,
Wow.
Josh.
So
That's a good point,
I
though,
mean,
Nikki.
fair, but
the thing
harsh.
here with Tragedy of Macbeth, if there's one word I can ascribe to it, it is precision. And it's just like it's every amazing name in Hollywood on that list of cast, crew, knowing exactly what they're doing and just
Yeah.
hitting it every single time. And there's something about where when we get to I haven't seen 150 movies like other people have.
Edgar.
So my
Hey.
list is limited. But when I looked at my top 10, I noticed a trend of what I felt a lot about 2021 being the year of fuck you. And I think Tragedy of Macbeth is one of those where there is fuck you art at play in 2021. And it was just, it's so elevated in every single way. Performance, direction, cinematography. It is so expertly done that it is peak cinematic achievement and Shakespeare for dummies. It does both. Like the way the shots are done, they tell you like if you don't, because it is the dialogue of Shakespeare, which is just not always accessible. It is riddles and weaving and all this sort of language, and
for us
all that.
learned men, it comes a little quicker.
But this is the thing, like you don't actually have to understand every single word because the camera is doing the work for you and
100%.
the performances are doing the work for you. And when you actually see the micro expressions in Denzel's face as he delivers a line, you know what he's doing. You know
and
what he's thinking.
a great example of that, Nikki, I know you and I after watching this specific topic about the language visually, you take Catherine Hunter as the witches, who is just
I think she was the bid
unreal.
for supporting. She was
Unreal.
unreal.
Wait, she's all three witches, or
Big snap.
all
Yeah.
the witches.
Yeah.
oh wow,
But even then, just where the witches are placed, like Nikki is saying, what's going on with them? Are they a clump together? Are they more separate? Are they in the rafters?
The greatest fucking shot is the one witch on the shore and the reflection of the two in the water.
Oh,
Master.
I mean, like,
It's
what
It's
is
fucking amazing.
And here's the best part. Here's the best part of all this. This wasn't directed by the Coen brothers. It was directed by one Coen brother.
One
It
Cohen,
was
you got
just-
one.
Just Joel Coen.
Half of
writing it-
brothers.
writing and directing. So somebody, before this movie came out, I think I texted this to maybe Nikki. I know I texted it to our friend Alex Backus. Somebody on Reddit was like, well, if we split the Farrelly brothers and one of them was able to go from Dumb
Don't
and
you
Dumber.
dare
No, but wait,
say
wait,
that
wait.
name here.
Wait. So he said, if you take the Dumb and Dumber Farrelly brothers and split them and you get a green book, imagine if you split the Coens, what you'll get. And that, it was like
God, it didn't end
using
up
the
like
law of proportions. And that's exactly what happened. We split the Coens and we got possibly the best thing with Cohen on it. It's
it's just amazing. And to do
Inside
it
Llewyn Davis. Come on.
with something as timeless and celebrated as Macbeth. Like again, like Shakespeare is the foundation of like Western performance art. It is still the pinnacle and still where you start. Like it's both. Again, it's both. Like, and for actors to walk in and just destroy, like just
Slay it.
yeah, they just went to town
and
from
to-
every role.
The
And
choice
again,
to make them older.
yeah,
Like,
and
in that.
Denzel Washington, motherfucker, out here saying, "Oh yeah, I haven't watched any portrayals of Macbeth before."
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
he just went in and did it.
He just did the text.
Like
Just
obviously
did it.
he knows it, but like
Yeah.
to not like specifically be like, "Oh well, this guy did this, this guy did
Yeah.
this. I'm gonna do it a little different." He just went in because he is
A
the greatest
master.
actor of his generation.
It's
And-
unreal.
And it's like it's incredible.
No,
I
but-
wish
oh,
this
yeah.
movie got more
It deserves
awards
so much more.
recognition.
I think it's an Apple
Um,
TV Plus thing.
Maybe,
that-
yeah.
oh, I
I mean,
think
it's
that's
also
a-
just a stacked
yeah.
year.
Yeah.
An
But, like-
undersubscribed thing. But yeah,
Yeah.
also
It was
that.
the stats fall season last year too, especially.
Yeah.
For sure.
Anyway.
But yeah, I mean, like Denzel, like
Francis
Nikki's saying,
McDormand.
like Francis McDormand and Denzel, both of them
Yeah.
veterans, both of them older, playing these two roles. Like Macbeth is a role that is imbued with so much of a climber's mentality. He's not a young guy because he's already a commander when it starts. I forget what
Yeah.
Macbeth's whole thing is before he becomes Thane. But he's clearly been in it. But he's not, king, lord, a fat, older, type yet. So there's almost like a hunger still. So to give that to an old guy, it sort of repaints Macbeth with an air and like a context of I am sort of, I'm fatter than I once was. I'm slower than I once was. Can I make a last grasp at the top? It's
Yeah.
sort of, it adds that element to it. And it was our first look at Moses Ingram before Obi-Wan Kenobi, and she's great in it.
Oh, who
Well,
is he in
Queen's
this?
Gambit.
Unless you watch Queen's
actually.
Gambit.
She's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lady Macduff.
Also, Corey Hawkins once again, great. He
True.
was great in
Yeah,
this.
yeah. Oh, he's awesome, man. Brendan
Yeah.
Gleeson.
Yeah, and I think just there's something about also how limited it was through production design. It felt like they were filming a stage production, and there's something so it's like
minimalist
the
about it.
liberation of minimalism. Yeah, because it's like
Yeah.
it's the same thing. Like diamonds are forged under pressure. Like the less you have, the
Right.
more you're able to just
Oh.
direct. Yeah, I can
Yeah.
have my close up. That's fine.
Yeah. No, let him keep it. Let him keep it.
the more you pull back, the less you give yourself to work
Yeah.
with. The more you pour in the real stuff. And
Yeah,
and
I mean,
that's what
like you
this
look
is.
at those, like to your point about the staging or the stage aesthetic, they will give you these wides and these interesting angles of this architecture, but they didn't put bricks on them. They didn't paint them. They are there so that there's big contrast moments with blacks and whites and shadow, and that enables literal shadows to be cast along shots, along the frames. That way it always feels like you always feel like you're creeping around the corner
Mhm.
of Macbeth as it happens.
Yeah.
It's fascinating.
Yeah. Last thing I'll say is like just for anyone who wants to revisit it or hasn't watched it, like literally, you can savor every shot. You can close your eyes and just soak in the melody of the prose the way they like deliver it. It is just incredible. It's expertise. It's precision. It's a real winner in my eyes.
Agreed.
I'm glad it's on the list. I'm glad it's on the list at least.
Yeah, well said. I agree.
And then we have Tit Tit Boom, which I think is a fantastic debut from Lin-Manuel Miranda. And
It's so weird.
such
to
an
say that he
electric.
debuted with this.
I know,
but yeah.
right? But like, it's so assured, and
Speaking
it's
of
such an
Shakespeare.
electric.
Modern Shakespeare. Just saying
Yeah.
it.
I mean, I think I know you and I were there, Josh, maybe Preston, in our big chat on Twitter. That when Lynn was announced for this, doing a musical on Netflix, I was like, okay, cool. But because it was like, well, he's he's written songs and he's directed on theater and everything, but very different thing. I'm sure he'll play it pretty conservative and rely on the music a lot and everything. And then, we're watching the trailers. I was like, this looks really good. And then I watched it and I was like, this man's making choices. Like he's been directing. Like it's all the visual elements and the movements and the framing and the intercutting. It was so what's real, what's not. I mean that Sunday scene with the fucking diner coming down and it's crazy.
The fight, like the editing between that too.
Oh, I loved it. Yeah,
so good.
Yeah, I think just like
Andrew Garfield. Come on.
Oh, Andrew Garfield was one of I think probably my favorite like singular performance of last year was Andrew Garfield in Tick Tick Boom.
Yeah,
he's just unbelievable in that movie.
It was a great Best Actor race last year.
Oh yeah, between him, Benedict. Did Benedict win? Right? No.
Will Smith won.
Will Smith. That was a great. Yeah, man. Shit.
I know. It's easy to forget that night for Will. It was just so uneventful.
Yeah, really.
Did he apologize yet? No,
I'm so over it.
But I love Tick Tick Boom so much. I rewatched this movie so much. I think I watched it like 4 or 5 times. Probably just last year alone. I adored this movie. Every musical number, 30, 90, just incredible. I forget the last one, but I love that one so much as well.
Yeah.
But everyone's louder than words. It's a bop. Great. I think it might still be like one of my alarm clocks. Louder than words. But yeah, I adore this movie. Alexandra, what's her name? Alexandra Shipp.
Yeah.
Fantastic. There's a
who was an awesome young Storm. I'm just sad that she was in bad movies.
If Feige is smart, he can take some of those, pluck the multiverse, do whatever he wants to do.
Where's the plan? Where's the plan? I need to know the plan.
I still get chills when I hear that word plan. But yeah, I loved it. It should have been higher. I'm shocked. It's like this is at 7. This should have been.
It was higher for me.
Top 5. Thank you, Tyler. Was this just me and Tyler for Tick Tick Boom? Who else had this?
I didn't see it. So
like 12, I think. But you should see. You should see who's winning the poll.
Let me check.
It's probably Mitchell's, right?
Someone help me.
Nope.
Come on, man.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's
It's
what's
Macbeth by lawn shot.
Auden, you fucking Twitter followers did
51%.
What do you mean my Twitter followers? I have a varied group of people that follow me.
The people
I blame Auden.
Learned people. People who paid attention in high school English.
This is the house of learned doctors.
This is the house of Tick Tick Boom. I'm disappointed.
It's evidently not the house of Gucci.
No,
unfortunately.
Or Shang-Chi.
Let me look at these quotes reads.
Good set of films here.
Remember, guys, never confuse a shit with chocolate.
It's me, Paolo.
Trust
Hey,
me.
Paolo.
I know.
I told you.
the fucking transition from him like to the car horn is the
Great.
It's so
Perfect.
It's
Perfect.
the greatest thing I've ever seen. Like Ridley Scott, this man made Alien, and he's out here doing car screams.
Then when
It's
someone
amazing.
edited the AMC ad to have Adam Driver and Ray Liotta fucking.
Oh no. We need to do top 10 Ridley, man. Ridley's my guy.
Well, Josh needs to watch Alien first.
Yeah,
Oh
he
my
does.
god! Don't
Not
remind me.
this again.
God damn it.
Josh, no.
But yeah, Tick Tick Boom is great. All 3 of these, I'm shocked because usually my like top 5 is usually somewhere in the top 5, so I'm kind of taken aback. I have no idea what's going to be above this.
Okay.
No Time to Die,
Number
actually.
6.
Where's No
No.
Time to Die?
Give up, bruh.
I'm not giving up. There's no way.
No time to
there's 6
get in the list.
Oh, shut up! There's no way there's 6 movies better than No Time to Die. I will not.
I only
have
saw 25 movies this year, and it wasn't even in my 10.
Based.
You guys are crazy.
All right, number
With
6.
4-way ties, it's more of an insult if it doesn't get on.
Wait.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
This is the last tie, by the way. This is the last.
Hey, okay.
Oh.
This is
No
the
Time
last
to
time.
Die.
No more ties going forward.
Is it No Way Home?
We'll see.
Oh my god.
Is this Green Knight?
Oh, I don't have Green Knight. No.
Number 6.
Stop
The Power of
teasing.
the Dog.
What?
Oh.
6 is Power of the Dog?
What?
Power of the
That's-
Dog got on?
Yes,
Bruh.
It did.
yes, it did.
I think it's great. I'm just
Great movie.
shocked
I
that
love
this
it.
is 6 on a hangout live stream. We're gonna talk about this repressed, this
movie.
this just brutal, dark
Character
story
study,
about
yeah.
a repressed gay man
Yes.
lashing out on a farm. Wow.
When I first saw this movie, like I saw it like after like all the hype and everything, I sat down on my couch and I was captivated for every single frame, every single scene of this movie. Like this is, I tweeted it out like this, and one we'll get to later is like why I love watching movies. Like this movie has such great direction, cinematography is gorgeous, and the score is probably my favorite score of the year.
It's such a great
I
score.
love
What's the
it.
watermark on the poster?
I wasn't gonna say anything
Oh,
because
wow.
Evan was being so like just thorough,
I didn't notice that.
and I was loving
I just
it.
want to know what it says.
It looks like it's saying.
Does it say Josh needs to watch Alien? What?
Te-
I'm kidding.
Uh,
I like
Team-
this poster so much, but I didn't know.
Team KD. Kevin Durant?
it is a.
It's Katie.
It is a great.
Is that
I
the
mean,
football player, Kevin Durant?
Benedict Cumberbatch in this movie is just.
Yeah.
He has my favorite line delivery of 2021 in this,
Oh, what is it?
which is when he realizes that Kirsten Dunst gave away his hides, all of his hides, and he's like, "What? You didn't read any of those books your daddy gave you? Can't you see that she's a alcoholic personality? Comes under the letter A." That is, I rewound that 20 times.
It's
Yeah,
so
it's a
good,
great
dude.
performance. This is
He's
one of those movies where
Unreal in this.
This is one of those movies where it's great on the first watch, but once you rewatch it, it's like a whole other movie.
Yeah.
Like
whole
the
nother
amount of
movie.
subtext and like there's so many like finite
tell you, man,
details hidden throughout.
When at the end of the movie, no spoilers for like what goes down, because I think this is one we should preserve for the viewers.
Mhm.
When a character reads the Bible verse that this title comes from, once he says the Bible verse out loud, which is basically the plot of the movie, I was like, just taken aback by
Yes.
how it played me for a fool.
Yeah.
The entire thing plays you for a fool.
Yep.
Yeah.
One of the best like character studies I've seen, and it's such a great adaptation by.
And
Jane
one of the,
Campion.
I would argue that character study is a trinity of characters, and one of them is dead. One of them is the character of Bronco Henry.
Yeah,
the ghost of
hangs
Bronco
over the
Henry.
movie. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Bronco Henry is this mythic figure in one of their estimations. To other people, it was, someone they didn't really know. You can read into, was there a bit of a predator nature to this character, sexually speaking? Who knows? But it's like both of these characters and this dead one all just doing this dance, and who really is, like you said, Josh, some of that dialogue, especially from Cody Schmidt-McPhee, is
I've never seen such.
Yeah.
I've never seen a film like address toxic masculinity in a way like this. Too. It's such an interesting way.
I've always loved Cody. I think people are like, oh, he's very like good up and comer, but he's been making great work for years. And I think this is one of his best performances. He was also in a great movie with Michael Fassbender. I forget what it's called. It was like a Western as well.
He was in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes too.
Oh yeah, he's great in that one. Yeah,
he's also. Dude, did you already say X-Men for Cody?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. His Nightcrawler is one that much like her Storm. It's like these kids just all of them. Sophie Turner, they deserve so much better.
Who's Cyclops in that one?
Ty Sheridan.
So good.
Ty Sheridan, great pick for Cyclops. Gets
agree.
nothing. Gets really nothing.
Nothing. I love Ty Sheridan. But yeah, Power of the Dog just slaps. Like the subtext is beautiful. Like I want to continue what Alden was saying about Bronco Henry. Like I like how he got to figure out so much about his character through the perspective of other different characters, and how your perception of him changes throughout the entire movie. It's just so good. And Kirsten Dunst has always turned in.
Yeah, I think that rewatch really established like Kristen Dunst as it's
Yeah.
very understated, but there's so
Yeah.
much like little aneurysms and
Well, because now
like,
you
so much detail
understand
in that performance.
what she was really dealing with.
Yeah.
Who she raised, without getting too much into it. And similarly, without getting into too much of Bronco, one of the powers of that rewatch, one of those powers of the dogs of that rewatch, is that you could talk to the people that had seen it, and they would say things that would also add on. Like, I saw this, and then one of my friends from high school saw it, and she was like, yeah, and then, you know, after I watched it, and you know, I realized very obviously that Bronco Henry was a child molester, and just went into this thing, and I was like, oh my god,
Yeah.
he wasn't. Dude, was he? And maybe he was. And you start to rewatch for that stuff, and it's really and why one brother lionizes and idolizes him, and the other doesn't want to
Doesn't.
be a cowboy anymore,
Yeah.
and is trying to be more legit. And then you find out that Benedict Cumberbatch is also like a learned, like arts connoisseur.
Mhm.
That his brother's like, yeah, you know, he studied the classics off at
The
university,
Tragedy of Macbeth.
and yeah, yeah, it's an interesting one.
I mean, to me, the most incredible thing about it is like Cumberbatch did the whole thing in motion capture, and like he was in the suit and he was like
Yeah.
crawling on the floor,
100%.
and I was like, man, incredible! Give him the Oscar. Right now.
Yeah, this was
Ron movie, Nitty. Ron
He
movie.
played the dog. It was crazy. Power of the dog.
The
that was
Bronco,
him.
this one, yeah, this one didn't make my list because there wasn't a dog in the film, and I got confused.
False
and-
advertising.
False advertising.
Fair, that's
yes.
fair, yeah.
I was
My
like-
man was trying to see.
Clearly no
My man was
plan.
trying to see Clifford. Man, he was trying to see live action Clifford.
I was like,
Can you imagine? Now that
Number
starts
one,
to be called
Clifford the
Power
Big
of the
Red
dog.
Dog.
Look how big it is. Look how powerful it is.
Is that on this list, Clifford?
Could you imagine, like similar to like when your aunt tries to buy you a Star Wars action figure, it doesn't really know what to get you. If two parents saw Power of the Dog on the listings and they were like,
no.
yeah, that sounds good. Can we get two adults and a child for Power of the Dog?
Oh boy.
Tyler got back in his car and like started filming himself immediately, reacting to it.
yeah, crazy. Dude, there was that scene where they're like looking out at the mountain range. He's like, no one else can see it but me. And then like two big red legs come up. It's like just fucking, you know. No, give it
Oh,
up.
man.
It was number one on my list until I added another number one on my list. And yeah, no, yeah, I don't really want to say too much more about the film because y'all said too many good things already about it. There's nothing more I can add, to be honest. But what it does within the boundaries of a Western genre filmmaking, but much like Italian Westerns back in the day, like Westerns are inherently American genre, right? And they're also inherently masculine in a lot of ways, as their direct ties with Manifest Destiny and all these sort of corrupted sort of American ideals. But you have a film about what it's about, made by who it's made by in fucking New Zealand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is everything what a Western like isn't, and it does it better than most Westerns I've seen. Does that make sense? Does that make kind of make
Great
sense?
Or
point.
Sam
That's
Elliott.
fair, yeah.
Great point.
But yeah, that's my angle on it. Wait, what did you say? I missed. Sorry.
I was like, poor Sam Elliott. He just couldn't handle that.
Dude, Sam Elliott had that. Sam Elliott had that. I'm like, you know what? Sam Elliott kind of got the movie, low-key.
He got it without understanding that he got it.
He read it, but like didn't understand it. You know.
he could see facts, but can he? It's like the fucking difference between knowledge and wisdom. It's like that exact thing.
Yeah.
He's like offended. That was one of like there are many great instances of celebrities throwing shade for no reason and people catching strays, but that was so uncalled for. Like,
Yeah.
it's just so random. Just not even nothing. It's just so petty. But yeah, man, Cumberbatch Oscar. In my opinion, already overdue with this man. This one, Oscar
from
worthy.
last year
Lil Wayne,
alone, like,
Oscar
yeah.
worthy. Imitation Game, Oscar worthy.
Am I the only one that fucking loved Imitation Game?
I
Imitation
fucking love
Game is
Imitation
great.
Game.
Never saw it.
Nikki and I
I
talk about
love
Imitation
it.
Game.
Thank you.
Talked about it a couple
Yeah.
times.
I
Yeah.
loved it. What was that? That was 2014, I think, right? And I
Yeah.
just during the Oscar
Ooh,
campaign
2014
run
is
for
a great
that,
year, though.
I really wanted the Imitation Game to like get more love because I love that movie.
Mhm. It's
Yeah,
excellent.
Benedict is definitely overdue.
Multiverse of Madness, Oscar worthy.
And he's okay.
But he gave 5 okay performances.
Ah, that's a good point.
So
All right, we're getting into the top 5.
No Time to Die.
if
So
it
you-
is,
you
I will.
You
I will
just
to
shot
mid.
Shang-Chi and is
No Time
full
to
on
Mid.
No Time to Die now.
I'm shocked. What kind of fuckers am I podcasting with when No Time to Die even on here? What the hell? It's the best Bond movie. What
Oh
is
my
going
god,
on?
no, it's
The
not.
best.
Second best.
My
second best,
god,
second
it's
best.
not even
Casino
close.
Royale.
Not even
Spits in the face
close.
of Bond movies.
What are you talking about? Oh my god.
It's my favorite Bond movie, so I'll agree with you.
I go Casino, No Time, and then the
Skyfall.
Skyfall one, where the sky's falling.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 5, No Time to Die.
Yeah.
Watch it be Malignant.
Pig.
I wish.
God, I would. Oh,
5 for
Okay.
Pig would be too low.
I pray.
Actually, I think 5 is where I'm at for Pig, anyways. Actually.
Number
Better be
5.
something on my list.
Pid.
Yeah, yeah.
I told you.
Yes.
I was
Thank
right.
God.
Pig is
I
number
was
I'm
6 on
surprised
my
it's made it
list.
on, actually.
Really?
Surprise. Where do you have it on your list?
If I
Don't
if
ask
I
me that.
could have, I put it at 1, which is where I have it anyway personally, and it's where I would want it for this game to get it on this list. And so help me God, if I could sacrifice a pick to give this more points, I would. Nicolas Cage robbed
Oh,
robbed
100%.
everywhere.
He was
This
at
was
65,
it.
for sure.
This was it.
Pid didn't hit me as hard as like you guys did, but I
Really?
can't deny that Nicolas Cage was incredible, and that third act,
That
was
dinner scene.
amazing.
I feel the
Oh,
same
So
way,
good.
dog.
That dinner
So
scene.
Again, I've described this to people as it has the aura of John Wick. And I think that was intentional. The trailers, it's like, oh, my animal's gone and I'm clearly a badass. And
Where's my pig?
this movie lures you in with that. And then all of a sudden it's Ratatouille. And
But
it's
better.
It's incredible. Yeah.
but better. Yeah. I mean, it is about not just grief, but the human, like just spirit. It's a
Human-
really, like what are the intangibles that we all have?
Human spirit, like the joy you find in life, the little
It's
things,
like
right?
also
Yeah,
like finding meaning and like the meaningness almost.
exactly.
Yeah. And also, and not to give away like one of the big moments, but they set up Nicolas Cage as this truffle farmer, and you believe that he's doing it one way, and then by the end of the movie, you're like, oh, it had nothing to do with the work, sort of everything that was going on. It was all love the entire time.
Yes.
And how his presence, him coming back into the world, him being all love all the time, because he's only a recluse because he lost a loved one. But then even while being a recluse, his pig becomes his family. So he's still a being of love the entire time. And once he goes back into society, everybody starts to wake up again because of interacting with him. So he ends up being this force of change just by being around and just by asking the right questions.
It's a very magical movie in a sense, with that whole thing where everybody's changing because of him, in a sense.
Alex Wolff's
Yeah.
character is like a great example of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a prime example of that. Yeah.
By the end, he's able to be a human being and not just a parody of his father. You know, you could tell what he's trying to be the entire time. And you know, the ending dinner scene we mentioned, but that middle scene, that lunch tasting with the fine arts,
So
the fine dining chef
Mhm.
is incredible. Nicolas Cage's monologue there is like an all-timer. I wish that I had a setting to learn that monologue and perform it, because that is like a life-changing movie moment for sure.
Yeah, this movie had like 3 of the best scenes of the year just in this movie alone. Like, yeah, the dinner scene, the lunch scene.
And again, and it's a directorial writer-director debut, which is just ridiculous.
Oh wow, you're right. Who directed this again?
Michael
Sarnowski.
Sarnowski.
He's doing the
Yes.
next Quiet Place.
A Quiet
right?
Place.
Spin-off?
Yeah, day one.
Good for him.
That's a great
Yeah.
bit.
Can I interject with something really
Sure.
quick? I didn't love Pig as much as you all, but I thought it was a damn good film. And
Get that out of here. Get it out.
dude. Trey, I miss you, dude. Good to see you, man. What's up? What's up? You came in just for the perfect take of the night. Okay. So I just wanted to clarify something for the record. Someone earlier said that Pig was like Ratatouille but better, but let's just clarify nothing's better than Ratatouille.
Exactly. Good call out, Tyler.
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna mute myself again. You guys talk about Pig. Like I want to hear your thoughts.
Number one Ratatouille stand.
You should have been on the
Tyler
Pixar
Cochran.
podcast. Ratatouille is not it. It's good.
Hey,
Ratatouille is though.
Evan.
Ratatouille is it though.
I
It's
swear to
better
God,
be,
if
yeah.
any of you break Tyler, I'm gonna slap you.
That's all I have to say.
It's no Wall-E, but it's great.
it's a movie.
It's no Lightyear.
Oh yeah.
Nothing is Lightyear, baby.
I wish we were on that episode so we could just like fight Evan for 2 hours.
Lightyear wasn't even.
I like
Lightyear.
Ratatouille. That's a good movie.
Ratatouille.
That's a great movie.
All right,
So-
I derailed it. Sorry, but just.
It's
watch
no
it.
Incredibles. There we go.
Oh, here we go again.
Monsters Inc. I mean, yeah, there we go. Anyways, yeah, I love Pig. Simple, great, similar to Power of the Dog. Like these two back to back, Pig and Power of the Dog, very good subtextual movies that just are shot very well. Great main lead character, and very emotional. I loved it.
Oh my God,
Why, Trey? Why?
this is like his new
No.
Rupert Friend thing.
This is it's like he was forced to admit that Rupert was great, and so now he's moving on to the next bit.
Now he's just gonna
We
like
won't
in a
have
month
it.
from now just delete every mention of this hashtag.
Does David Ayer still make movies? But see, what the fuck's he doing?
Well, he
Bright
did
too.
Bright.
Oh
With
god.
Matt
He
Landis.
did Bright, and then he had that movie with Shia LaBeouf.
Matt Landis is
Oh
Star
yeah,
Wars.
he had that Mike Shia LaBeouf movie. What the fuck was that?
and
Oh,
it was
man.
like
Is it the one that he's playing like a Latino character or
Yeah.
something?
it was
Yeah,
like
that's
yeah,
really
like a
gangster.
like a like a
Not great.
SoCal gangster type.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I've been in my cyberbullying era, all right?
Oh, that's great.
David
I
Ayer's
am-
greatest work is tweeting,
Nothing.
"Hey, I also made a movie." while you're celebrating James Gunn.
Please watch my
Yeah.
movie.
He's very good at that.
Does he have a greatest work?
Oh, I love the Jake
Fury?
Gyllenhaal movie. What's the Jake Gyllenhaal with
Oh,
Kenya?
Oh,
Fuck.
yeah. No,
That
you're
one's
right.
great.
In the
Well, he wrote
End of
Training
Watch.
Day. He wrote.
Yeah,
Oh, he did
He
wrote
Fury
Training
too.
Day.
I haven't
Fury's
seen Fury,
great.
but a lot of people
Fury.
liked it.
He wrote
2014
Training
too.
Day. He wrote the original The Fast and the Furious.
That's right. Yeah.
And back when they still had the Fast and the Furious. And and Fury is good.
Fury.
2020 was The Tax Collector. That's what that was.
Oh, gross. Yeah.
Didn't Shia LaBeouf like get tattoos just for that movie?
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm shocked this is 5. I know what number 1 is. Like,
Do
I
we
know
know?
it should be.
Do we?
I don't know what
Do we
number
know?
4 through 2 are. though.
I feel very confident that I know what number 1 is.
It has. I think 1's safe and locked in, as it should be.
I think so too.
I think knowing us,
Do we have
Yep.
to,
As it
what do you
should be,
think?
right,
Yes.
guys?
Just gonna say something. Remember the twos.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what the rest of these are, though.
I've like.
What do
no
you
time
think is
to
number
fucking
1? I'm so
die.
interested.
I won't say it
it's
because it'll
Dune.
spoil it.
It's Dune. It's Dune. I'll say it. It's 100%.
Tyler, what do you think?
Wait, what do you think?
I said Dune.
No.
What are you thinking, Tyler?
Oh, you think it's Dune? Oh man,
What do you
Dune was
think?
like number 45 on my list.
Oh my god!
What?
Kick him out, Josh. Take him out.
Nah, just
Thanks for your time, Tyler. You were good.
like Dune was No Time to Die. Yeah, no Time to Die.
No time to
Uh,
Dune.
no, Dune was cool, but I
Dune
also
slap.
I think number 1's gonna be Inside.
What's inside?
Oh, fuck. I forgot that was eligible.
What?
Even though Josh told us.
You fucked up.
Oh, is
If I were-
inside that one?
If I were to
film-
guess, I would say number 1 is either Dune or The Green Knight.
Oh,
I would bet.
What do you think number 4 is?
Green Knight's nowhere near my top 10.
Number 4. Huh?
I'll tell you what it should be. It
Number
should
4 is
be
Green Knight.
Come On, Come On.
I never saw it. Come on. Stop it, Trey.
Honestly, okay. Sedway, Alden fucking called it.
Oh, whoa!
We won. We
We
won.
Who had it on their list? Who saw
We did it, Joe.
I didn't put
We
it on
did
my
it.
list.
Oh, thank
Was
God.
it just
Pig and Come On,
Alden
Come On
and
being
Josh?
back to back.
This is like in my top 5. This movie is
Okay,
wonderful.
so guys, Pig and Come On are my 1 and my 2. So I am
I've never seen this movie.
living.
Love to
It was
see
a.
that.
It was a.
It's
good
beautiful.
Woody
movie.
Norman was my favorite
Beautiful
performance
movie.
of last year.
It was insane. That kid is.
It's such
Nikki,
an
tell
unreal
them. Nikki, tell them your
performance
pitch
from
for
that
what Woody should do
Oh.
next.
Oh yeah, so if you put Woody Norman and Vivian Lyra Blair in a movie together, you will win Best Picture.
Just
These
two,
are- these are
imagine
two-
those two in like their own like Moonrise Kingdom.
Two
Oh my
child
God.
stars on this kid is incredible. This kid is so good that I was like, they didn't pick an actor; they just picked a kid off the street.
He's
Because-
so good
Yeah,
that he steals the show away from Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and he
does
also
things that are like, how do you plan that? Like
he's
it's,
also
it's just
doing an accent.
yeah, he's British.
He's British. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
insane.
It's he's a star, and he
And like you said, to,
he's
to
incredible.
carry it with Joaquin and sometimes steal the scenes
Yeah.
from Joaquin is unreal. The score, the use of narration, the use
screenplay.
of the recordings. I was a blubbering
too.
mess
yeah
throughout
I,
this
was,
movie,
like-
but specifically at the end.
Yeah.
I watched this on a plane and was like just in tears for like the whole like second half of this flight. It's a beautiful movie. If anyone hasn't seen it, like
Go
Go-
on.
I never-
go
I
get
never
on
got
it
the chance to
because-
watch it, yeah.
it's so
Mhm.
it just picks it's one of those
It's so
things that picks its
authentic.
moments. Like
Yeah.
it just knows when to hit.
It just stops like for humanity's
What's
Yeah.
sake. Like
What's
it'll
the,
just
what's the story? What's it about?
So Joaquin Phoenix is this boy's uncle, and he's a radio journalist for what seems like an NPR type thing. And he's going around the country talking to young people about the future, going to schools, different things like that, to people's neighborhoods. And because his sister, this boy's mother's husband, is having like a bipolar schizophrenic episode, there's like a lot of drama. So he takes this kid on the road with him. And it's just a road movie about the two of them and about their relationship. And they use like the recordings, and he teaches them how to record. And I'm crying because it's
So beautiful.
it's
There's-
amazing.
There's this also like overriding theme that I took out of it where it's like no matter what you've gone through, you can rebuild. And
Mhm.
like that's something I was like losing it as I was watching it. And yeah, no, it's like it's just about these people who, you know, they sort of because like Joaquin and his sister have sort of drifted a bit,
Mhm.
you know, and it's just sort of like refinding your connections, and like
Yeah.
it, also they lost their mother at some point, I think fairly recently,
Yeah.
before the movie, and like through flashbacks you see things.
Yeah, there's a lot of like good intercutting, like peppering it throughout
Yeah.
the movie. And
Yeah, and it's just like this idea of like whatever you lose or forget about or whatever, like you can refind it, you can rebuild relationships, and you can just sort of like live again. And I think,
Yeah.
and it's like you get that through Joaquin and this amazing Woody Norman kid, like with each other.
I
It's,
can't
and it's
stop.
like-
it's just
praising
beautiful.
Woody
Like it's a
Norman.
beautiful movie.
like little things to take all those ideas that you just described, which are all 100% spot on, and to convey them through small things like giving this kid has a weird fascination with pretending that he's an orphan.
Yeah.
So that's a recurring theme throughout the movie. So he'll ask his mom to pretend to be a lady adopting him, and that he's an orphan and that he had a family and they're gone. And like, that's a recurring thing. The kid running away is a recurring theme, or like disappearing, and little things like that. Reading books at bed. Like there's that scene where Joaquin reads this book, which is a real book. And I want to buy it just so I can cry. And it's a kid's book, and it's about it's like the Star Child, and he narrates this whole thing about kids that you come down and you live your life and all this stuff. And again, I was just sitting here like a fucking mess. It has a forward momentum, but it's
kind
of like vignettes
existential than you would ever think.
Yeah.
And it's like I love movies that don't dumb down kids and them like as they are, and this movie does that so well.
Thank God that's getting better, because you look back on the movies we all watched as kids, like Disney Channel original movies, stuff like that. Like kids were morons. There were morons on TV. There were morons in movies, but
or just like cheap animated movies, like Illumination, whatever.
It's finally over the past.
You know who didn't do that?
5 years.
Jumanji.
Oh yeah.
Like, I was just thinking like. I didn't grow up with Disney original movie.
You're right. No, Jumanji was solid. The kids in Jurassic Park are solid, but we did lose that. I mean, I think that Super 8 was kind of like the first, like, we could take it back. We can do a Spielbergian.
And I love Super
8. I think Pixar is doing that really well too.
They are.
And
they have, to their credit, Incredibles is 04, and those are great young characters in that movie.
Masterpiece.
But now that we have, the Stranger Things was obviously a huge moment for it. Come on. Vivian and Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Chef even.
Chef. Oh, he's a great kid too.
Yeah. What happened to that kid?
I don't know, but
he was in Jurassic World.
Oh,
right?
My dude. Dude, that's Ty Simpkins in Jurassic World.
That's Ty Simpkins.
My guy. He's Harley Keener. My guy from Iron Man 3. The kid.
That's not Chef Kid.
No, that's Ty Simpkins.
Oh yeah.
You mean Peter Parker? You mean Peter Parker?
All these damn curly-haired fucks.
They do look like really.
Oh, the curly-haired fucking Shazam.
Young white kids.
All the kids in it. I love seeing all those kids succeed.
Yeah.
It's a good time, right? Because I think they've all sort of like what Spielberg told JJ.
He's
direct them as adults.
He's the kid in Krampus.
Oh. Yeah. So for those playing at home, so far I've gotten everything in the top. I've gotten all of mine, save 2. I have 2 more. One of mine's an honorable mention.
None of mine are on here.
Alden's picks were weighted.
Did Josh use my list?
Yeah, I did.
Once I announced Ryan Johnson, Josh was like, "I gotta get this guy's picks."
Did I submit my list in time? What the fuck?
Weighted, dude.
Did I submit my list? Evan's just watching other people's picks.
I'm like, where's my movie? Like, my movie, there's nothing else in my top 5 besides.
I mean, Tyler's is like that too.
Okay.
For being honest.
Yeah, I'm with you.
But I'm a co-host. I should have weighted options.
Insider trading.
Evan, a lot of yours is on here.
Yeah,
but half of yours is on here.
Okay.
I'm surprised this whole podcast isn't dedicated to my personal list. I mean, what's happening?
I'm sorry about that, Tyler.
No, it's okay. I'm just
So I assume 3 and 2 are movies I have not seen. I'm just gonna take that. No. Oh wait. You guys loved Green Knight, so that's gonna be on here. That's probably number 2.
I think the next 3 are my top 3.
And here Preston scratching his head.
Unless other people.
What do you think is number 3, Nikki?
I'm gonna guess it's Green Knight.
What? Oh, I thought that was gonna be number 2.
Nah, 3 is Green Knight, 100%.
3 is Green Knight. What's 2?
I think there's enough to drag it a little bit.
2 is Dune. 1 is
Dune.
I think it's gonna be that.
One is what? What is 1, Tyler?
Inside. Bo Burnham's Inside.
Oh.
Just you wait when fucking Clifford the Big Red Dog is.
Oh man, what about Tom and Jerry, man?
Tom and
There's
Jerry.
no time to die. The best action movie of last year.
You said the same thing about Shang-Chi, though. Which one is it?
That's true. Fuck. What's on my list? Okay. I had no time to die over Shang-Chi.
I have a feeling that maybe
to steal the election from.
Oh no, it's spreading.
Now. Get these men out of
It was
school.
COVID. It's monkeypox, and now it's hashtag release the haircut.
Hey.
Are these
Nothing
bots?
is sacred.
Right. Number 3.
It's
Wait,
Green
wait,
Knight.
wait.
It's Green Knight.
is it a No Way Home?
No, it's Green Knight. No Way Home is not on this list.
I will be surprised, but I
Number
It's not on this
3.
list. It's the Green Knight. It's the Green Knight. Tyler's right.
Inside.
Oh,
Way to
Great
go,
choice.
Alden. If you would have remembered, it would have been up.
I probably would have.
This is the defining piece of art that this period in our history will be defined by.
Yeah.
I don't say that with any hyperbole. When people talk about when a plague ravaged
Yeah,
the
fucking
world,
Edgar as it like
what piece of art?
30s.
What piece of art summed up our human experience? This shit.
Even outside of the pandemic, like it literally
Yeah.
it holds a mirror up to so much. It holds
The
a mirror
digital
up to
age.
us as people who are putting shit on YouTube for other people to watch. Like literally what we're doing right now. He talks about it in this. And
Exactly, dude.
Yeah.
We haven't done the number
110%.
one yet. Stop
Dude,
spoilers, Preston.
Dude, Nick, I remember standing. Okay,
In Disneyland?
I don't want to take up too much time and too much space, but I remember standing in line to go to get into Disneyland on that one day. All the Mando kids were there, and me and Nikki were just dunking on like the whole concept of like the dirty, filthy word content.
Yep.
And like I think we like made like a Phantom Thread meme in line where it was like content, filthy word content, like, it was like
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
and it's funny because like for the longest time I was like so averse to this idea of content, and look how far we've come, where we have like the homie who's leading Discovery Plus being like, this is more of a content move rather than a consumer move. Like
it killed the culture. It killed
90
the
Day
culture.
Fiance universe, baby.
It won.
Yeah, and we're not getting it back. Like
No,
it
it's-
killed it and it's gone.
it's killed, and inside is the eulogy. And
Oh my god, that hit me in a place. I don't like that, but that's profound.
yeah,
I don't like it.
Put it on Twitter, baby. Let's
This
go.
is a shit podcast, Tyler.
That's
You want
content,
it.
baby.
This is why we
I'm
bring
giving
Tyler.
you content, Alden. I'm giving you content, dude.
Uh,
But inside HBO Discovery Max Plus. Preston, I love you, dude. But no. Anyway, inside genius. Inside is
And it's like the music slaps too. I did.
Yeah.
it
Yeah, it's
has
just
all that
objectively
depth,
good.
and
It's
it's,
just- it's a-
like so
it's-
much
yeah.
fun.
It's a defining
have
piece of
the-
work for him. It's a defining piece of work for the era.
Yeah.
Like
I have the
yeah.
album in my regular songs rotation. It's just
Yeah.
mhm.
I think that I mean All Eyes on Me is pretty powerful. I think that Welcome to the Internet is a masterpiece.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Mhm.
yeah.
And
As someone who's
Goodbye,
like
soundtrack.
kind of grown up with Bo Burnham and like his specials, like I vividly remember watching What for the first time, which was like his first like big Netflix special, and like to see him like achieve this like almost a decade later is like he's such a talent that we don't deserve.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, yeah. Every minute of this is
Perfect.
yeah, it's just incredible. It's an odyssey in and of itself. It is real. I love, like, one of my favorite things is when he shows you the takes where he just breaks down. And it's not like it's unfiltered. It's just like he broke himself to find this place.
He spoke the language of the time, of the zeitgeist, like things like Sako saying like I've been in a liminal space, not quite dead, not quite alive, like that type of stuff. That he was able to find the expression that was all of the unsaid stuff.
Mhm.
All of the
Yeah.
unsaid things, no matter how uncomfortable they were, even in the song about being problematic and getting canceled, where he's like, yes, I was Aladdin once, but I didn't do the brown face. I just dressed up like Aladdin. like those types of things that we're all thinking. All of those ideological, like sexting, or the like any great comedian finding those
And
premises, like
he
FaceTime
can
with
have
Emma,
like he can have songs that like go into that, but they could still be bops too. Like they're so catchy.
Mhm.
Yep.
That's
Yeah,
why
it doesn't-
that's why I love about Bo Burnham.
Feeling in my body.
It doesn't
when
feel
I look-
didactic. Yeah, dude, Nikki, you and I doing that like all the time. Oh, dude, it's so funny. but to go to what Josh was saying, like, yeah, dude, like the whole thing doesn't feel like it's teachy or like didactic or preachy at all. It doesn't feel like it's coming from a place of like, I understand this and you don't, and it's like this sort of weird pedestal, like platformy type of positioning. It just feels hopeless in a lot of ways. And yeah, there's so many layers to this, down to like legit how it was produced and made and edited, and how that echoes the technology that us as consumer producers have to produce our own shows like the one we're doing now, and how media and storytelling and digital arts has been so democratized in such a way that is really brilliant and so helpful, like in the larger scope of like putting more artistic tools in more hands equals more stories, which is equals more good, you know. But somewhere along the way that it's become corrupted by like corporate slodge. And there's that scene where he's laying down on the floor and he's like, maybe putting
the microphone is off to the side on his pillow.
I'm horny.
No, like it's what I've said about like something like Twitter or any social media platform. In the same way that you're saying, like we gave the means and the tools for storytelling and artistry.
Yeah,
it is a wonderful thing that the internet has given a voice to the voiceless. However, on the contrary, it gave a voice to the voiceless, and both of those are bad. So it's like we have created a world where everybody can create, but at the same time, everyone noticed and they're creating, and
maybe that wasn't the best idea.
We have to reckon with the power that we unlocked.
The whole crux of that song, you know, it's like we did all the things we designed it to do.
Yes.
Look that at you, like insatiable you, like
it's a condemnation.
This gluttony culture that's like been created out of it. Mommy gave him the iPad. He was only two. Like, and it's just, it breaks it all down.
Like, it is a condemnation of us. It's not like you said. It is from a defeated place, but it has tons of love, and it has tons of love for others in it. But it is a defeated sort of condemnation of us, the viewer, for even going on the streaming platform and engaging with it. It is not concerned with actually being seen by us, but it knows that we're going to peak, and so it keeps telling us that we are part of the problem, and we are all part of the problem. Like I'm part of the problem. I got a Disney Plus bucket hat that I like. I'm part of the problem.
I saw Alden wearing that. I was like, well, at least I know he'll march to the guillotine with honor when we take out all the influencers.
And
arrest me.
It's so fascinating because this is from someone who started out on YouTube. It's from that era, and to see him like make this piece of art that goes against what he was, and it's just so fascinating.
Can I ask a question of the group before we move on?
Yeah,
just about the movie business and this. I love that you made it eligible. How do you feel about its classifications between?
I made it eligible because for me, I think it's way more than just like a Netflix comedy special. It goes so much deeper. It's like
it has a
part documentary. It's part like
it's kind of mockumentary. It's kind of musical. It's kind of special.
Yeah.
It's kind of comedy special, but it's like the bow in the movie is also a performance.
Yeah,
exactly.
And so it does have a narrative. It has I'm starting this thing. Let's see how it goes, and then it has the going outside and the spotlight and all that. So like, kind of is. And I know that
much more than just like your average Netflix special.
It was Television Academy got it, and it was in the Emmys because
it was up for Emmys instead of like Oscars.
But like I think that the agreement was like, if the Academy had come around on it, the Emmys couldn't have it. It's like whoever claims it first type thing. And it's like I don't get what the Academy's issue with it would be. I mean, I don't think that.
Also, the Emmys were
Birdman, it's not. It's kind of like a digital Birdman.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Was it released in theaters or anything? Or?
I think that's what's so.
I saw it in theaters.
It was screened in a few places. But I think that's.
Let me tell you, All Eyes on Me in a theater is like an out of body experience.
Yeah, I think that's like what's so good about it is like it like trying to what do you think about its classifications? Like it transcends all of them, and it's just so much its own thing, and it's a little bit of everything all of the time, right? Like it's so many, it's I think that's why it's so hard, or it's my number one for what it's worth on the list. I think it's such a like it's so personal, right? Like I think it's one of those things where like I watched it and I was like I needed a hug and I simultaneously needed to be left alone. Like it does something, and he tapped into something that like so many of us maybe like couldn't put into words but related to immediately. And he did it through song.
And I think he
sketch. And
he kind of like synthesized like happy sad is a big thing, right?
Yeah.
We love happy sad, and happy sad is definitely having a moment in the digital age. Like now there's sad girl pop, like Billie Eilish or Olivia Rodrigo, Gracie Abrams, and we kind of have happy sad coming around again as like a really like everybody fucking loves it whenever Linklater does anything because he kind of is one of those guys. And
quick side note: is Gracie Abrams JJ's daughter?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, JJ's daughter. Okay. And one of the best things he's ever made. And the whole idea of like Taika Waititi being sort of like a happy sad connoisseur, like with like JoJo. Bo didn't really tap into happy sad here. He kind of made his own thing, and it's sort of like rage and depression, like kind of at the same time. Like things like it's an angry, vibrant, sexually charged low. It's
and that's why it's the best encapsulation of 2020.
Yeah, and it's the liberation of acknowledging it all.
Yes,
and like and being like, oh yeah,
like when he talks about like I don't want to kill myself, I would just like to disappear for like 18 months or something like that.
Yeah. Or dude, or even the idea where it's like in the song 30, where he's like I don't even know how it goes.
Another 10 and turn 40 and kill myself.
Yeah. And that's like really relatable, and it's insane. Like,
I one time I screamed that to myself in the shower.
Yeah, and I'm like, dude, I'm putting my best foot forward for the next 5 years, and if things aren't working out, I'm out of here, dude. And at the lowest moments during the like pandemic, or just generally when you're dealing with, sort of those elements of mental health, right? Like those are things like Alden was saying earlier that like haven't really been said out loud or put in that way before, or put into words that way, that are now really accessible, and like I feel understood in a way, but I also want to be left alone in a way, like going back to what Nikki was saying, where it's like I need a hug, but I also don't want anyone to talk to me ever again. You know what I mean?
Right. Because it has like the vibe, not even vibrant. It has like the sort of like vigorous bumping, sort of like those Jeffrey Bezos songs, and then like he ends them with like these screams, like you're like so ready to like take down capitalism, and then it's like a hard cut to him laying on the ground, like stuff like that. Like it's able to capture the duality of hopelessness.
The experience.
There's angry hopelessness, and then there's like a malaise hopelessness, and opening it with comedy, asking the question to the audience, like, is this doing anything? And it's like it's just an unpacking the entire time. Even the sillier ones, like a white woman Instagram. It's like, it's that's kind of like the most Saturday Night Live of them all, but it's still a culture. Like
it's speaking to something.
We've taken those things like pumpkins or leaves or whatever, and we've turned them from parts of nature into content.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go throw up. Go on. I'll be right.
And
it's the genius. Like that's the genius of it. It makes you sick.
And the outtakes
but it's beautiful.
are like
The
outtakes. Eatly is good.
He could do a Peter Jackson like inside extended edition, the entire experience.
Microwave
the story
popcorn is like
continues
the
on
banner
disc
of the year.
Microwave popcorn
is wonderful. I also love the 5 years. The Bezos 3 was great. And it's funny because
1985.
the existence of Inside makes you question your relationship with your love of it. Like, it's like I remember saying, like, oh, I would love if, you know, after COVID, thinking that, you know, there would be an after. It would be cool if Bo Burnham did Inside Outside, like if he did a tour of Inside. And then I was like, wait a second, me wanting that is part of the problem. Like, I just couldn't let it be its own thing.
Yeah, no, it's something that like will just continue to be mined for forever, because it's so, the depth of it is immense. And yeah, like I love Tyler's choice of eulogy, like, because that's what it is. Like, it's already gone. Like, the culture is gone already. And we're just trying to figure out scraps. You're just trying to be honest amongst the carnage.
Like, I don't want to pat myself on the back or pat us on the back as a collective, but like the people here right now and our friends, think about the people you love online. We are the Rebel Alliance. Like, anybody that's like, I want to have a meaningful conversation about this shit, you're the minority. And
I feel like we're not even the Alliance. We're probably like, we're like John Connor. Like,
yeah, it's like way less. Nikki's like, that's too hopeful. That's still too hopeful.
John Connor. Man. The Terminators are out there getting clout. Like, and we're
they're getting sexier too.
Yeah, and we're just trying to talk about emotions and like the heart of art. And
we're already at T3 Rise of the Machines, because we've got a beautiful, sexy Terminator, and we're past our prime, and it's just
Anyway,
soon we'll be Genesis.
And then there's Edgar, who like it's good.
It is good.
What's this at your list, on your list? What number?
Right now, let's see.
Oh Jesus! Here comes a master list.
It's like
he's still scrolling in the 40s.
Oh,
in the 40s.
Edgar loves content culture, confirmed.
Hey, let's go.
Edgar, you'll like it when you're older, dude. Like,
Edgar just likes a more straightforward script. Where's my scripted stuff?
All right, before we move on, let's do a little poll update out of 49 votes.
Hey, what is the storm right there?
Macbeth.
Ride the storm, baby.
Macbeth. Okay.
Nice. Mitchell's in second place.
I haven't seen Macbeth. I still need to watch it. So
it's just phenomenal.
You can savor it.
What was the main character's name in Mitchell's?
Katie.
Okay, so this is like a little side note, but like Katie taking over discussing film is one of the biggest reasons I got off Twitter, because that's like everything Bo Burnham was talking about Inside is like ruining.
It was fun.
Like,
the viral marketing stunt that they did. That whole thing.
I'm like 3/4 joking, but yeah. Anyway,
no, I get it, dude. Like, not to derail the podcast, and I'm sorry, but just to build off of that, I have gone on, I think, 3 or 4 times in different contexts, trying to express in writing or verbally how rattled I felt about the Batgirl thing. Like, it wasn't about I was excited for it. I was, but it wasn't about that. It wasn't about the fact that I love Batman. It was that it was a definitive fatality, a Mortal Kombat fatality story from content. It was, I felt like I witnessed, like, the fact that Michael Keaton's Batman was considered worthy of a tax write-off. Really let me know that, like, the era had shifted. We are now in the 4th age of Middle Earth, and the elves are fucking gone, and things are not great.
All right, Evan, give us your rant.
No, I don't have a rant. What do you mean? I haven't seen the movie. There's no rant.
About Batgirl.
Oh, yeah. There's nothing to be said. I agree with everything Auden said. Yeah, nothing else to be said. I'm tired of ranting about Batgirl. I'm pissed. It's stupid. I want to see it. Yeah.
All right.
At least Flash might come out.
Oh yeah, thank you. That's definitely worth the audiences. I want to rebrand DC, starting with the Flash. Fuck you. I don't need to see no Flash. That's so
Bitch ass.
stupid. That's so- so now I'm back on the rant. It was like,
You can't keep a good rant down.
like Batgirl ended because of like either it was bad or it's just not worthy of being seen. But then we can see the Flash. I'm like, that makes no sense. F off. Like they don't care anymore. They don't care. Anyways,
Yeah.
let's talk about the Green Knight number 2.
I'm trying to think.
Wow. 2 Dune 1.
Yeah,
How do you feel about that?
I mean it's right.
No,
That's
that's
how
Right?
things play out.
That's
I'll be Josh. Stop effing with us. It's Green Knight Dune. Come on. If it's Dune number 2, I'm leaving this podcast, never to return again.
At number 2,
Dude.
Free Guy.
Yeah.
Tomorrow War.
Free guy.
Okay. Evan
Yes,
called
Green
it.
Knight. There we go.
Hey.
Thank God.
I think Tyler called it before me. I didn't. I forgot Inside was a thing, so I didn't see that.
I predicted that Inside was going to be 1 because I thought that everyone here was like, loved, going inside as much as I did and stuff like that.
I didn't see it. I'm not a huge what's the name? Bo Burnham. I'm not a huge
Bo
Bo
Burnham.
Burnham guy. So.
Yeah.
Bill Burr.
Bill,
I was about to say Bill
God.
Burr.
You.
That's a totally different special, but yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, I liked Green Knight. I didn't love it. I mean, great, I haven't seen it since the movie theater, but I really liked what I saw. So
Green Knight
Yeah.
is my number 1. It is like everything
It's
I want a
phenomenal.
movie to be. It's like Nicky said earlier in the show. It's fuck you art. Like
Mhm.
that ending alone. It's
beautiful.
The ending
so
is so- the ending is
satisfying, even
baller,
though it's
dude.
not meant to be satisfying. Like it's so good.
It's satisfying because you know that that ending creates 2 types of viewers.
yeah.
Those that get it and those that don't. And if
Yeah.
you respond
Right.
to that
Looking at
ending,
you,
it's because
Preston and
you get
Trey.
it. If you respond to it, and if that ending happens and then it cuts and you smiled, it's because you got it.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you were like, it's not an ending, you didn't
Yeah.
get it.
Even
It's
before
supposed
that
to be
last
Which is fine too,
uh,
though. Like if you don't
scene.
understand it, like it makes people like have probably a better time rewatching
But-
it.
Oh, conversing about
Yeah.
it too. It's a movie that should
Um,
sit and
yeah.
One of
change
the-
people's minds. And
One of the
Mhm.
whores, one of the Mandalorians. I can't remember who, so I'm sorry if you're
oh,
watching.
I thought you were protecting their
No,
identity.
no, I honestly can't remember who
It
it
was
was.
me.
Said like, it was cool, but like I didn't get it. I was like, and I just remember being like, I think that's the
Trey and
point.
Preston.
Like,
Yeah.
I think the point is not to get it. Like the point is it real? Is it not? Like, who cares?
Yes,
The
it's
point
like-
is to
yeah.
feel it.
Yeah, it's just
It's not
like
about getting.
it's weird. It's like I want to say it's vibes, but it's like it's deeper than that. But it
Yeah.
is
It's
just this
poetry.
like
This is a visual poem.
right.
Like it's like one of the first things I tweeted about this when I left the theater was I'm dying to sit down with like George Lucas and get his thoughts on this because I really think that this is the epitome of tone poem. It's the
Yeah.
epitome of trusting the material and bringing a lens to it. Bringing like David Lowery,
David
his
Lowery, man.
his like palette of influences, his arsenal was things like Borman's Excalibur, but also things like Ewok's Battle for Endor. Like this guy was just thinking about all of these different flavors to mix together. And
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
saw this as a double feature. I went to the theater that day and I watched Pig and then I watched Green Knight, and that was
Holy
one of the best
shit.
That's
one
a
of the
good
best
one.
cinema days of my life. I left that theater feeling spiritually cleansed.
I wish I saw Pig in the theater, man.
Let me tell you a double feature that needs to happen for this: the Green Knight plus the Ted Lasso episode Beard After Hours. It is the
Wow.
same
Oh, you
thing.
said that
This is-
before, yeah.
It is the Odyssey. Like it is.
Yeah.
It's what is real. I don't know, but like it's
And
it's
the way this
happening.
film plays around with that, and the way like with each viewing, you start to understand more.
Yeah.
And like with his mom and the Joel Edgerton's character, and like what is real and what's not, and does even matter because
Yeah.
it's progressing his character arc.
It's a different take on like mythic storytelling. Like it's
The
based
hero's
on like
journey.
mythic storytelling, hero's journey. Like Arden said, it'd be great to have a conversation with Lucas, who it's his Star Wars is all about myths and hero's journey, heroine's journey.
Oh, I want Lowry.
Yeah.
Like, you want to watch me explode? D23. They're like, yeah, we got Lowry doing an episode of Ahsoka. Like,
I am so
I would
fascinated
implode.
with his.
And he's
Peter
in the
Pan
Disney
movie.
family now. Exactly. Yes. It's
I'm
Peter
so
Pan.
fascinated with that movie. Like, his take on Neverland is going to be so interesting.
Oh yeah, he is doing. Is it called Peter Pan and Wendy?
Yeah.
Peter Pan and Wendy.
He was
And
in the
his-
Disney family before with.
Yeah, he did Pete's
Dragon.
Dragon.
Oh, Pete's
With the
Dragon.
dragon.
That's right. That was pretty good. That was
I
pretty
never
good.
saw it. I never saw it.
It
Yeah.
was solid. His Captain Hook is Jude Law, which is already great.
Oh really?
And his
Shit.
Shmee is Jim Gaffigan.
That's
Who's
it.
Jim Gaffigan?
From
Who's Jim
Modern Day.
Gaffigan?
Let me see.
He's a
He's
comedian.
a
right?
comedian. Yeah, he's a comedian who did a couple Amazon specials recently.
Oh,
and-
okay. I know. Yeah.
And then he also has
That's a good Smee. Holy shit.
his Tinkerbell is somebody.
Isn't it?
Yara Shahidi.
Ezra
Yeah, yeah.
You say Ezra Miller. I heard it, but I didn't like fully process
Just
what was
gonna,
being said.
whisper that out. I think there's something about this movie too, like sort of the way I thought precision for Macbeth. I think the one word I think of with this is specificity. It's part of why, again, like when I went through what I saw when I wanted to put in my top 10, almost every single one of them, if not every single one of them, was just such a strong expression of, I'm going to do this exactly the way I want to do this. Fuck the critics, fuck the audience, even. Like, you get on my terms, or you don't need to watch this. And I feel like The Green Knight is not quite as like hostile in presenting that, but it just is that. And
It's no Tenet.
right.
It's no Tenet, which is absolutely hostile.
Or like when
It's hostile to your ears.
I think even the fourth Matrix, which I put on the list, is a little more hostile, like a little more like,
Yeah.
this is just mine, like and I think this is a little nicer than that.
Yeah.
But I think that also comes from like you said, talking about his influences. And I saw this at an Alamo Draft House, and right before they showed the movie, I guess like the Draft House, people had asked him, like, give us the 5 movies you think about when you, or like that were in your head talking about this. And there were so many that I wish I remembered off the top of my head. But like really interesting choices. But the one that really resonated with me was The Dark Crystal. And he's like, there's when he talked about that, he was like, it's the patience of the Dark Crystal that I was going for. And I got that immediately. Like it takes so much time just to do things. Just
the
to
shot of
be.
him leaving home on Christmas.
Yeah. And like just to be. And yeah, it's just so cool in that. And again, it's so similar to Macbeth. It is touching on a real like touchstone, like foundational piece of like cultural myth. And it's King Arthur. It's the knights and to mention King Arthur, like it's a Sean Harris's portrayal is incredibly unique.
Can we talk
we've
about
ever
Sean
seen.
Harris for a second?
He's so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah,
He's
it's
so
instead
good
of
in this
instead of
movie.
Gawain or Gawain, he goes Garwin.
It's like
But no, yeah,
Nephew Garwin.
he had
it's an
such
Arthur
a
we
year
haven't
last
really
year
seen.
too.
Yeah.
Between this and Spencer, like he's fantastic in Spencer also.
Oh yeah, he's in Spencer.
Yeah, and it's an Arthur we don't really see. We're used to Clive Owen or
The age.
whoever else.
Yeah.
He's old and he
All
has
the stories
regret.
already happened.
He has
Yeah.
regret and he's tired and
Yeah.
yeah, I thought he was brilliant. He delivered like almost they're not related, but like Richard Harris. He almost reminded me of like Richard Harris Dumbledore. Like there's a softness to it.
Definitely.
And yeah, it's like that was again just the specificity. Like this is very unique to this. And yeah, I think, and then just like structurally, the way I think about this movie, I would say its Act 3 is about a quarter of a page, and when you make your Act 3 that short, you know you've just nailed it.
Look at
And
Jaws.
it
You're
does it
done.
so
Look at
fucking
Jaws.
well too.
Oh, Jaws is a great call. Yeah.
Jaws, my
Jaws-
favorite is The Sixth Sense. Like the Act 3 is like
Yes.
Act 3 is like 90 seconds.
Yep.
And that's what this is. Like he goes through the trial, and you get 2 lines of dialogue, and you're done.
Get us out of there.
You nailed it. Stuck the
Yep.
landing. 10
Yep.
out of 10.
Yeah, and that scene
so
too,
yeah,
like
that's
that music during that scene, like
Yeah.
Oh, everything about it. I mean,
score is
I
fucking
I
insane.
had to do a rewatch the second it went to home release because I was obsessed because I saw it in theaters. I didn't notice how the Green Knight's face as they go around him in the dark changes to all the different cast members. It's Joel Edgerton. It's Alicia Vikander.
Wait, really?
Yes.
What? Wait,
It
what?
ver- Google Green Knight face change.
I'll
you
do
got to
it
get
right
on
now.
the explainers, man, on YouTube.
Green Knight explained.
Look at what you missed.
You guys, in the canon of King Arthur.
What scene is this again? So face changing, you said? This
Right
was
when
the end
he,
of the movie?
look up like the Green Knight face changes. The actual.
Can we also give a shout out to
Is it
Barry
streaming
Barry
somewhere?
Kogan?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Very
he's
good.
Whenever he shows up, you just know there's mischief afoot.
I like him in
He's
the
got an
trailer.
untrustworthy face.
Yeah, he's always like conniving.
Yeah.
He was in the trailer for this upcoming movie with Colin Farrell. If you want to find
That looks.
but it looks so
masterpiece incoming.
good. Yeah, in Bruges, too.
interesting.
Yeah.
Two into Bruges.
This
Yes.
this film was
But the thing that's so impressive with this movie is that
Mm.
the production design is fantastic. The
Gorgeous.
makeup on the Green Knight is the best of last year. It was fucking snubbed.
Ralph.
Everything
Ralph
was snubbed.
Ralph Ineson.
Edison, yeah,
His
The
performance
cinematography
is
is
he's
genius.
wonderful.
Yeah,
And the way they
cinematography is
just
gorgeous.
Pull that bass all the way down on his voice, like
And
oh,
look, we're all
Visual
thinking
effects.
it. I'll be the one that says it. Alicia Vikander in this movie is
Yeah.
something else, and
we're all holding that belt, man.
I could not. I saw this, like I said, I saw it after I saw Pig, and I was sitting next to. It was like me, empty seat, and then a grandfather and a grandson, because this guy was old, and his grandson was probably like 17, 18, and they were not into it. They were
Oh
not.
no!
They were not. They were not feeling it. They were like,
Then the rad scene comes.
you could literally hear them being like, "What the fuck?" Like they just not get it. But then she starts going to town on Dev, and I shit you
I
not,
was
those
like-
two were silent, like silent as a rock. Like they were.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Michael Fassbender.
But
is
yeah.
yeah.
What I was saying is that like every single technical aspect of this movie is just top notch, and it was made on a fucking $15 million budget. Like
it's crazy.
this will
Insane.
never stop impressing me.
This being
Yeah.
on
So-
15 and Everything Everywhere was what,
25,
29?
I think.
25? Yeah. Crazy shit.
So A24
Crazy.
knows how to fucking get every last inch of their budgets.
That's
Like,
how it's gonna be.
so
Like
good.
they're ahead of the game because it's gonna be you're gonna get peanuts to make your movies, while they give all the money to the Gray Man 6.
And
Like-
the Flash.
Like that's what it's gonna be.
The beef continues. By the way, guys, for those playing at home, my new favorite rivalry is Nikki versus the Gray Man. He's got it
I
out.
saw the review. It was like 2 stars from Nikki. That's rare.
He's got it out for it.
Yeah.
Is it better than Rogue One?
No.
A rare Rogue One support.
W.
For what it's worth, I do really enjoy Rogue One. But
You're right. I mean, we spent the last 10 to 15 years murdering, killing, and annihilating the middle movie.
Yeah.
Everything
The
is going to be.
rom-com.
And
That's
middle
why
game.
Last Duel flopped so hard last year.
I
also.
love
even,
Last
even
Duel.
Last Duel is still above
And
the.
it's so
It's
good.
upper middle. I'm
It's like
talking
70, 80,
like
yeah.
there will never be a boom of super bad knocked up Step Brothers. Like
Yeah.
that will never happen again.
The
We killed
rom-com
that.
is the middle budget rom-com.
The rom-com is dead.
Yeah.
Like the fact that I mean, I heard it
Touchstone
wasn't.
Pictures.
It's not entirely
like,
dead.
Kind of.
I heard it
mean,
wasn't
set it
that
up.
in
great.
theaters.
but,
In
like,
theaters.
Touchstone
Yeah.
Touchstone is right, by the way.
That's why
That's-
Bros
that's-
is so like exciting because that's like a
Yeah,
low
let's go
budget
like Bros
rom-com
or
by Universal.
what was the one recently where Seth Rogen was trying to get with
Oh,
Charlize Theron?
God damn.
Oh
Like,
yeah, dude.
that was one.
One Shot?
Blind
Yeah,
Spot.
I know.
Shot was
Recently in the group chat, the night before was on there, not for rom coms, but just for
Yeah.
com.
It's so fun.
But like, yeah,
I think This
you
Is
won't-
the End was like the last bid budget.
the last hurrah of the Apatow kids,
Yeah.
those types, and now Apatow's, he's either doing like heavier
Bubble.
stuff like his Carlin documentary, or he's doing the
tweeting
bubble.
Stupid, or
Or
tweeting
Car-
he's doing the bubble.
Will
yeah.
Smith arrested?
Oh, God.
Oh yeah, that was him.
the
right?
anti Will Smith.
Oh no. Oh,
He
no.
deleted all that like same night.
No.
That's a shame.
By the way, the Apatow George Carlin documentary, it's like 4 hours long. They split
He
it
did
into two
that?
parts. Yeah, he directed that or co-directed it, but it's his whole company and everything. It's phenomenal. So if you still have HBO Max while it survives,
If
give
it's
that a
still on
watch.
there, yeah.
Give that a watch.
I need to watch House of the Dragon somehow.
Yeah.
Hey,
But yeah, I mean, Green Knight, just a phenomenal film. It's
It's good.
so confident.
I'm kidding. I love it.
I would love. I'm not saying I want this to be franchised because I don't. But it would be cool if someone did a Lancelot or an Arthur or something.
Yeah,
and
let just
kept-
David Lowery do like Arthurian tales at A24.
yeah. Isn't
We
he
need
making?
more Arthurian. Sorry, yeah.
No, I was just gonna
Okay.
say, isn't David Lowery's next movie after Peter Pan like a spiritual?
He said it's a
sequel to it?
spiritual sequel, yeah, but it doesn't
Yeah.
have a title that indicates Arthurian. I could be wrong.
The Black
But-
It
Knight.
must be like the same like fantasy like
Tone,
creative
weird
kinda
shit.
thing.
Yeah.
yeah,
does,
like
yeah.
it'll be like
Scratching the same
like
itches.
Labyrinth and Dark Crystal, where it's like
Yeah.
we're kind of
Yeah.
like this, but we don't have anything to do with each other.
We need more
Um,
movies of this genre. It's such an underrepresented genre.
Medieval.
Classic fantasy,
Like,
Yeah.
medieval fantasy specifically. Yeah,
I mean, like we get like the big, like the genre Lord of the Rings stuff, but I want stuff like this where it's just
Yeah,
like
Mid
very,
budget. Yeah.
yeah.
We could probably get it on Discovery Plus. I mean, they're the home of the genre.
the
Genre
genre
domes.
don't-
Yeah.
Starring the Property Brothers.
90 Day Fiance universe.
Hell yeah.
Dark Week.
Christmas
Oh my
games.
god!
And it's starring the Property Brothers, and Andrew's still the only one who does all the work.
Give us a 90 Day Fiance in like 1600s.
We should do 90 Day Fiance podcast. Bro.
Dude, that's
I want them to
what I
start
like.
pairing auteurs with like all of their reality TV. Like David Lowery has to show run 90 Day 90 Day Fiance, and then
Yes.
you get like
Give me Property
Phil
Brothers by the
Cohen.
Safdies.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That actually sounds pretty damn good.
It does.
Ghost Mike Flanagan.
Ghost Hunters
Yeah.
by Matt Flanagan.
Mike
Yes.
Flanagan. Oh god,
Yo.
that'd be crazy.
That'd be sick.
Legitimately really good.
That would be cool. Content, man.
Don't forget
Fucking
Shark Week.
Kozlov.
Don't
Take
forget
your
Shark
ideas.
Week.
Mm. What's
can
what's
I
number
get-
one? Is it Arrival?
Arrival.
Sicario.
Sicario? Oh, it's Enemy. Oh shit, dude. Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
My baby.
There.
Woo!
I mean, it's just a masterpiece,
I'll
right?
let you guys have this one.
I love how Dune isn't like my favorite Denis Villeneuve movie, but it's still a fucking masterpiece.
It's not mine either. Yeah, but it
it's
is.
still incredible. Denis has a knack for just making big, gigantic spectacle movies that are very intimate,
Yeah.
very subtextual,
Very existential. Yeah.
yeah, existential too. Yeah.
He knows how to bring a portray scale on screen really well.
hmm
Mhm.
Just
And
like
he
Rogue
was
One.
able to just like Rogue One.
Tony Gilroy.
Dark Fraser. But it's like to your point about like the enormity of the stories, but the intimacy. He's able to present like he did in Blade Runner and in Arrival, these massive visuals and these like awe-inspiring otherworldly things, like the herald of the change, that giant round ship that comes down.
Cool.
Yeah.
And there's all that shit, but really it's this guy who loves this woman, and he's got a teenage son, and things are about to change, and no one is ready for that. That's what it is. And then you add on all those layers. It's like the story of Aragorn is just this guy who doesn't want to lean into the family business because one of his great grandpas was a piece of shit. And if you could strip it all down to those things and it still works, those are the bones. And Dune is full of that. I mean, Lady Jessica, her whole arc is this universal maternal thing. I can't imagine a mother not understanding sort of what's going on with her.
I say Rebecca
was
Ferguson
snubbed.
Yeah.
Snub.
She has never turned in a bad performance. She is majestic. in
Doctor
this movie.
Sleep snubbed.
Oh my God, she was
Yeah.
beautiful in
Dr.
Doctor Sleep
Sleep,
too,
yeah.
man.
One of the best.
Poor
villains of
Jacob
that
Tremblay,
franchise.
but lucky Jacob Tremblay.
She was also in Fallout.
Oh yeah.
Best movie of
Rogue Nation
2018.
also, the opera scene. Oh man.
Best movie of 2015. Yeah.
And it looks like she has a sword in the Dead Reckoning trailer.
Best movie
So-
of 2023. Yeah.
Okay, so I wanna let Edgar have his time because this is his baby.
Wait, what?
But
Oh.
The tooth.
yeah,
You
but I
remember-
want to say the score and sound design in this movie is on a whole nother fucking
The
level.
bagpipes, man. The
Yeah.
bagpipes.
Like so good.
R.I.P. Bagpipe.
All right, Edgar,
Bring him back.
All right. let
rant
me just-
about Dune.
Okay, so let me just say, like, I got to go to this like the special event thing of the first 10 minutes of the movie or whatever, like in IMAX. I
Good
think it
for
was
you.
Yeah, I think it was some September, end of fucking summer. I don't remember. But just getting to, not only did they show like featurettes and the trailer, I think it was the premiere of the trailer there during the special event. But just watching those first 10 minutes and just getting the sense of like, okay, this is like the next big thing was like fucking incredible. And I remember the build up for Dune being so chaotic because I know everybody, including a lot of people in this podcast right now, they were all like scared that the movie wouldn't like hit with like the general audience, and the fact that it did, it just goes to show
They
like
need to call it part 1.
but like the fact that it did, and that's just goes but to show like Denis like kept it, like his like talent to like pull this shit off. And like I fucking hate whenever people say like, "Ooh, this movie doesn't feel really like a complete movie. This is like a part one." This movie has a beginning, middle, and end, and if you don't see that, like, I don't know what to tell you.
Preach, Edgar.
Completely.
Preach.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I mean, it's fucking. I mean, it's not tonally Fellowship of the Ring, but it's Fellowship of the Ring.
Yeah.
Like it's that. Okay, just because Paul and the rest of the group keep going, it still classifies as an ending. It's the same.
Let's
with
still kill
Frodo.
some orc. Is like
It's
basically
still
what
ending.
we got here.
Yeah, and like I think that Nikki, I think after you saw Dune, I think you saw it before me. You texted me, and I think you even said Fellowship of the Ring that or made you feel that again.
Yeah.
You know, not again, they're very different, but it just felt eventized in a way that we haven't had something in a while.
Yeah.
For
I think
me,
oh, sorry. You got it.
go ahead. No, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say really quickly, like the point I made a few times. I think this is another just great example of an artist saying, "I'm gonna do this exactly the way I'm gonna like. I want to do it," and you know, whatever that results in, so be it. And I think it's such a credit to Denis for how just good it looks. Like for one, like every frame is just it makes your eyes expand. And you know, for assembling and then empowering that cast of superstars to deliver the performances they do and go the places they need to go. And yeah, like technically it's, you know, just amazing. And I think it's also just the case of it being one of those things that's like, can this really be adapted? Like, can it? And we got the clear yes, and some more.
It was one of the ultimate examples of that, of like
Yeah.
an undoable, you know, like they used to say about Watchmen, and to some people that still is, and I'm sure to some people Dune. I'm sure there are Dune haters, but I mean, like everything was accounted for. Fucking everything was accounted for, like on every level. Even this title treatment is fucking brilliant. Like I'm not a design person, because when this, maybe it was obvious to some people when this title treatment was unveiled at like CinemaCon or something, I was like, oh my god, it's just the same shape and it's genius. Like I couldn't believe it. I was just blown away.
Dunk.
Yeah, it's such an impressive feat, I think.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's like it's one of those ones where it's like a without trying to be like pretentious, it's like a very like heady fantasy kind of thing, right? Like it's not sort of it's not like super swashbuckling, it's not like adventure-y in that way, but it is an adventure, and it is it's just I just find it like so captivating. I think it's one
And
of
it
those ones
has all
where,
the archetypes. Like you do still have a Duncan Idaho
yeah,
to have the forward momentum and to still excite the audience. And
it was one of those ones that I was so glad to have it accessible on HBO Max, because I just wanted to keep watching it. I would literally finish it and start it over. And it was just so engaging, without being it's another one that takes its time, but it keeps you pulled in.
Yeah, and the attention to detail is so incredible. One of the, like, again, watching the movie on repeat, like this is an example to not only like Denise but also like somebody like Hans Zimmer. You know how like when the Harkonnens like attack Arrakis, like in the or whatever, like the way that Hans Zimmer uses the Bene Gesserit theme at the beginning of that attack to like tell you that this is happening because a lot of people made an agreement, they made a deal, and you don't even need the scene like between like the what's her face
the mother, the
mother,
I forgot her name.
between her and the Baron. Like you don't need that scene. The music is telling a story, and it's and you can also say that with I think the only character actually that has an actual theme in the movie is Duncan Idaho, and his last theme, his last hurrah, his last like stand, like to protect Paul, is just like a great example of how whenever people say like this movie is not like doesn't have any emotional depth, like how can you say that when it's literally there on the screen?
100%. And that's what I love about Denise's characters, like whether it's Paul or whether it's Amy in is her name Amy in Arrival? Whatever. But even like in Blade Runner, all the main characters have such great emotional arcs that are all very relatable despite how big the movie is. And how crazy the movie gets to. And I can't wait to see where Paul goes in the next one. That's why I chose not to read it yet. But part of me still wants me to read it. But yeah, I'm excited. So yeah.
Tyler, talk about Dan.
Dunk,
yeah.
Because I remember when it came out, and I remember your feeling, because it was similar to mine, but I don't think for the same reasons. Because I just remember us both being like, let's marinate.
Yeah.
100%. Like the Baron, let's marinate.
Yeah.
And
balsamic vinegar ass.
And I think you needed marination for different reasons. Explore them.
Yeah, I remember that, Nikki. I appreciate you, drawing into the depths of our memories of our conversations. But I think I like this one the least amount of everyone here, and I think it's one of those well, man, there's so many reasons why I believe that I could feel a certain way about this film, and there's so many different options why. It could be one of those things where it's like everyone loved it like night one, and everyone was just like, over the moon for it, and I was like, hold on, let's marinate, like Nikki was saying. And whenever that happens, I like almost, maybe wrongly so, sometimes feel averse to like, leaning into the love I have for it or whatever, because it's like, oh man, there's, you know what I mean? Everyone loves it.
There's always a counterpoint, right?
Yeah, right. And I like to think that I'm pretty good at like being manually critical, right? Or like manually taking off or applying certain lenses when watching things. I mean, I believe that's why I went to film school, you know what I mean? Like to be able to have that wherewithal when watching things and engaging in art, but sometimes it gets in the way, right? So it could have been that, right? But I don't know. I feel like to talk to like Edgar was saying earlier, like one of the big criticisms of the film was like a lot of people saying that it didn't feel like a complete picture, or a complete narrative, you know, arc, or however words you want to say. For me, that was like, yes, there is a beginning, middle, and end. Okay, like I don't disagree with that, but I also at the same time like feel that it didn't exhale in the way Fellowship exhaled at the end. If we're going to use Fellowship as a comparison,
Yeah,
like and like it's hard to say like, well, there's no emotion in the movie, this and that, when like, you know, Duncan Idaho does the work that his character does and serves what he does in the film. It's there on screen. Yes, true. Technically, objectively, it's there on screen. But do I feel like that played and sold how it wanted to? It didn't sit with me that way. Does that make sense? Like technically it's there, but did it resonate with me in that way fully? Not necessarily. But not to say that I don't like the film. Denis, one of my favorite filmmakers. The filmmaking is insane. This is one of the few films that I like actually went back and listened to the score, you know, like over and over again. Like I was in the middle of my grad school program and I was like listening to the Dune like soundtrack and score while I was writing my papers, and it was just like amping me up. And like it's one of those like it's
Finish your paper.
and I'm like,
How did it take us so long in this discussion to start doing
yeah.
it?
I'm glad someone's doing the melody. And
Living
and
Caliban
yeah,
is
so,
still
yeah.
banger.
I'm not to say that I don't
So
love the
good.
film. I'm gonna be like, you know, night one to see Dune Part 2 or whatever it's called, and I want to see where it goes, obviously. And a lot of the criticisms of like it doesn't have a complete story and there's no emotional heart. I don't feel that way, because I do recognize that there are those archetypes and that narrative trajectory. But do I feel like it has the lungs that I think other people think it has? No, I don't think so. But it's still a sort of a major like cinematic work, you know. I don't like disagree with that. And to go back to what Josh was saying earlier, Rebecca Ferguson is the best part of the film.
Yeah.
So the hands down, the heart and soul, you know, I don't know the origin source material. So maybe that's just the case in the source material as well. But what she brings to the film, how she's costumed, how her character's designed, how her power and ability is literally sonically designed within the sound design, is for me what I still think about today when I think about this movie is her and everything about her. Yeah,
she's a goat.
And Zendaya is Michi, so just had to put that up.
Zendaya is Michi.
Also, the whole bullshit nonsense of Zendaya didn't have anything to do in the first part. It's like, I don't know how to explain, you know, ethereal sort of thematic through lines and what a call to action is, mythically speaking. And like, again, you know who I blame for this? Soups. And I hope somebody clips this out. That's who I blame for this.
We at Where Heartbreak Feels Good say fuck Soups.
Wow.
This is an
Wow.
anti-Soups
My man.
podcast.
My man got rid of all ambiguity. He made it part of the policy here.
Yeah, I agree. Though people aren't patient.
Number one,
so-
Stan Nicole Kidman. Number two, hate Soups.
Oh geez.
Yeah.
I don't.
Number 3, empower Nicole Kidman to kill Soups.
Well, hey, guys, you guys are crazy. I've never met the guy. I don't know who he is.
Treya.
But
Tracy's best
Yeah.
friend.
Wow, I don't even know where to follow that. I forget what I was gonna say, but either way, I'm excited for Dune Part 2. Oh yeah, Zendaya.
Walk
Yeah,
in.
yeah. I just think people aren't patient enough. Like I was kind of like that when I first saw it. I was like, oh, she's not in it as much as I thought she would be. But I still appreciated the role. I still appreciated what she brought to the movie. So I don't think people looked that deep into it.
Yeah, I think it's like if I if I didn't like it, I think what I would try to make my strategy is like just let it be what it is for now
Mhm.
and let it play out
Well,
and
wait.
then assess
Mhm.
kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really love this movie, and I'm glad it's as high as it is because I know the group that we have, I knew it was gonna be high. But yeah, no, I think it's a cool win for like, you know, the sci-fi fantasy genre to see these movies get like elevated and celebrated in Oscars is like something I won't take for granted. Like, do I think Shape of Water should have won that year for Best Picture? Probably
Yes.
not. Probably don't.
I do.
Get Out should have won. Get Out should have won. Okay.
Okay,
Come on.
yeah, that's
I mean,
fair.
Um,
All right.
I like it out more, but
All
Shape of
right.
Water was
I
fantastic.
But-
disagree.
Okay, that's fair. I won't get mad.
I
But
love you, Ricky.
I will celebrate The Shape of Water winning because fantasy getting that
Yeah.
recognition
Mm-hmm.
is good for my soul. So yeah, I think it's great to see Dune have the sort of elevated status that it has.
I'm hoping next year we get a nominations of Dune Part 2 and Spider-Verse 2 for Best Picture, please. And Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning, of course.
We have some breaking news.
Breaking news!
I've made a mistake. Dune
what?
did not get number 1.
Don't start. This is a
You're
bit.
joking.
Is this a bit? Are
You're
you doing a
joking.
This is
bit?
not a bit. I
You're
made
joking. That's
He's
miscalculation.
gonna
bullshit.
put the Tomorrow War in.
I literally
new
said
number
to you, well,
one.
no, wait. I
No
literally
time
said
to
to
die.
you,
Green Knight? Oh
No,
my!
no.
oh, stop. Go get this man out of here.
How did I fall for that?
Let's bring Soups in.
You fell for that?
How did I fall for that?
I
Hashtag
literally,
replace Josh with Soups.
I literally said that Josh was better than the Academy at the beginning of the stream, and now I take it back.
I really thought it was
Just
no
like
time
that.
to die, but
He put a La La Land on us, son of a bitch.
No Shang-Chi and no.
No time to die. Are you guys
No
drunk? Are you
time to
high?
mid.
no
Mid.
time to watch that mid movie.
I'm shocked and appalled.
Do we need to talk about No Time to Die? Like, does that? Just
I'm
need
never
to-
coming back on the pod. I think
Yeah.
Evan,
Well,
take it
when
away.
we show
Here's your
everybody's list.
Oh wow.
yeah.
Hey, that's me.
Evan, would you like to say anything about anything on your list?
Yeah, Shang-Chi is fucking great. I'm shocked Shang-Chi was. I'm not shocked. You guys are mid, but
You're the only one who had Shang-Chi on there, though.
I know I am. I try my best.
Malignant
I
that
should've-
high.
Malignant's
love that.
fantastic. Yeah, I love Malignant.
The cop in that movie is fucking A+.
Great.
They parked the car on the edge of the cliff. Amazing.
But real quick, No Time to Die is one of my favorite action movies of the last decade. Like, I just think it's up there with the Mission Impossibles, with the Mad
Yeah.
Maxes, with Skyfall and Casino Royale. It's just it's like emotional action, and I just love it.
It's a good action movie. It's a bad James Bond movie.
Oh, don't do that.
Oh,
Don't
Okay.
do
It's-
don't
that.
be a
it
Christian
takes-
Harloff.
It's a
It
good
takes-
Ryan Johnson movie.
It
It's a bad
takes-
Star Wars movie.
It doesn't do the
What do you
promise of
mean?
James Bond.
The Promise of James Bond.
Yeah. It's a different thing. It is independent of James Bond.
Now,
I
here's the
think we're
thing.
talking about the last movie.
I love and respect this opinion, but I will say, I'll say two things. One, it is a dangerous line of thought because there were those people with it's a great Ryan Johnson movie. It's just not a good Star Wars movie.
Or Iron Man 3.
Or Iron Man 3. But the second thing I will say is that now to defend you, Nikki, I do it too. And I just did it talking about Man of Steel the other night with some of our friends. And I said Man of Steel is a really, really good action sci-fi film, but it is a terrible Superman film.
There you go.
So I think we all have those, even though I do think that sometimes that gets used. It's a double-edged sword
Can
thing.
we
I
do a
guess.
Man of Steel commentary on this? I love that movie. It's a great.
We had the
Superman
Force Alden on it.
movie. Oh, okay, cool.
Let's do a
I'll just
Zack
clockwork.
Snyder commentary
I'll
series
go to
on
Alden's
Alden.
house and Clockwork Orange him and just watch.
I'll do it. I'll watch your goddamn movie.
That's great. But yeah, No Time to Die is just I cried. I cried at that ending. I think it's a perfect end to his saga of movies, Daniel Craig saga of movies. I don't
To
think
5 movies that stand
It is
by themselves.
unfortunate
Yes!
though because it is unfortunate because of the whole thing that happened with Terry Fukunaga, which she's a fucking piece of shit.
Oh
but
yeah, but even besides that, I think it's directed very well. I think I love the way the action's shot. I love I love every scene of this movie really, and they make the romance between him and I forget the actress.
Yeah, they actually make it a romance. They
Leah
actually
Sado.
make it anything.
It's very good, and it works way better than the one that came before it.
Let me tell you what they did wrong with Daniel Craig's movies.
Wrong.
They couldn't decide what the arc of this narrative was because they never knew when he was gonna stop.
Yep.
So like
And
basically,
can you blame them with some of his comments?
I know, but I think that just makes the last two feel super weird to me. And it's like, so you get Casino Royale and it ends and he's like, oh, we got Bond now. Then you get Quantum of Solace and it's like, okay, we didn't quite have Bond, we got Bond now. And then we get Skyfall and then he goes through all that and I was like, oh, we lost him, oh, but we got Bond back now. And then then he's already time to retire.
Then it ends twice.
Well, I disagree.
retires.
I disagree with that because like he's always trying to retire. He retired in the first one, the second one. Like he's always trying to retire. But I think what he found something to love. And he found something.
He does try to retire in Casino.
Like, he
that's
retires
true.
in every single
which is
movie.
dumb because you can't retire during your origin.
But that's
exactly
your origin
right.
movie, though. Yeah, and it's like it did 3 origin movies and 2 last ride movies.
Endings, yeah.
And it's like
Skyfall.
I see what you
Skyfall
mean there.
goes to the root of his backstory and kind of retires him at the same time.
Yeah, so like
Yeah.
that's why I think like there is this sort of compartmentalization of James Bond as a franchise and the 5 Daniel Craig experiment project that they did.
Mhm.
I think what works with the other Bonds is how singular they are. I mean, and there is like a through line sort of referential things, but like they're sort of singular to themselves so that when someone does leave, you're not in this awkward thing of like, well, we're only like, you know, or we're like, this is a 5-part story and we don't have our guy to finish the story. So all I can say is I think No Time to Die is a good movie. I think I just didn't like the end. And I think what I took out of it is I hope they go back to the old formula.
No, I like this. I mean, I know what you mean in terms of like, are you talking about like old formula of just making just singular movies each time kind of thing without a through line or?
Yeah, or like, you know, like a loose through line, like the
Loose
way
through line.
Pierce Brosnan and Judi Dench, you know, they're
Yeah.
connected in the same way, but it's like it's not sort of.
That's a good point because I think a lot of my family, like when we were trying to watch this one, they were like, "Do I need to watch the other ones?" And I did because I just like I like this saga of movies with Daniel Craig.
Yeah.
But for people who didn't see the one before this, it's kind of confusing. Like who's she? Who's
Right.
this? Like
Yeah.
it's
Right.
too connected. So I see what
It
you
was interesting. It was like they
Yeah.
couldn't decide what their, you know, it's hard. They couldn't decide what their sort of the percentage of clean break in their reboot.
Mhm.
Is Casino Royale the beginning of a new timeline, or is it still kind of the Pierce one because of M?
Yeah.
And this is not comic booky or multiversal where you could be like, doesn't really matter. It does fucking matter because then Skyfall establishes a childhood for all of those iterations, and it's complicated. Like I don't have a Bond attachment, but when you explained this to me, Nikki, I remember talking about it after I watched it. It made sense to me because it does. Like I don't care emotionally, but it does make sense because it is kind of like we have James Bond as it was, just trading iterations and recurring characters, but you know, adventures, and then a saga over here.
Real quick,
yeah.
also from my list, if you guys haven't seen The Dig on Netflix,
I haven't.
it was one of my favorite movies I've seen last year. It was in my.
It is really good. Yeah.
It was in my top 10.
Shout
for
out
a
to
long
Nightmare
time.
of the Wolf. Let me tell you that.
Nightmare of the Wolf
Oh,
goes
yes,
so
please.
hard.
It's so good.
Edgar, was I talking to you about that, Edgar? Where I'm just like,
Yeah,
it's like
last
the best
podcast,
Witcher
yeah.
project. Yeah, I was like,
Yeah,
Nightmare of the Wolf goes so hard.
that third
Also,
act
Little
is-
Fish is really good. Really
Really?
solid little
I
like
was bawling at the
emotional
end.
indie. Yeah.
And Heart of the Falls, one of the best directorial debuts
It's
of last year.
really good Western, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, The Dig just swept me up so much. I love The Dig. My hero,
Cruella is great.
Wrath of Man 2 is very fun. I should have Wrath of Man above Black Widow. I should change that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't mean Evan
where's the
ride
Tomorrow
hard for
War?
this movie. The Map of Tiny Perfect Things is like
Catherine
a really
Newton!
solid rom-com, yeah. Like time loop
Yeah.
movie.
Fear Street trilogy on Netflix is good, very good trilogy.
You.
Belfast, yeah.
Yeah, we did too. Like the
Yeah, we're getting this shit box
not
there.
so good.
Escape Room. What is this? Some kind of tournament of champions?
Wait, what's that
Actually,
last
you
one?
used to have
Everyone
these
loved that
because-
last one.
Yeah, I added these too late, so I didn't really sort.
Yeah.
them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bell would be way higher. And so
Scaring me.
Woman in the Window is
trash, awful. I hated that movie.
Mm.
Yeah.
No Thunder Force.
Never saw it. Never heard of it. What's that?
Mm.
Moving on.
It's a movie.
Who's next? Who's next?
we have Tyler.
I'm in.
Podcast version. Ooh,
Yeah.
Red Rock. I never saw Red Rock.
I
Oh,
wanted
that
to
looked
see
great. That looked
Bergman
really great.
Island, and I didn't get a
Yeah.
chance.
Bergman Island is pretty good. Yeah.
Here's my list.
What's
Also-
zeros and ones?
Oh, dude, let me get in on this one. Okay, so first of all,
Wait, can I just say really quickly, Tyler having an Ethan Hawke movie that nobody else has
It
seen
fits.
is so on brand.
So fitting.
They're incredible.
dude. So this is my like. Thank you for saying that, Nikki. I appreciate that my brand is on point.
There we go.
It's Ratatouille and Ethan Hawke.
Yeah, that's pretty much my entire personality, and yeah. But that's what film school got me, I guess. But so my list was longer. Obviously, like I have a longer master, sort of bigger list, but I cut it down just so we could talk about my 10 that I put, plus 3 additional ones that I wanted to talk about. We did talk about Worst Person in the World already. A couple other ones that stand out, like the card counter that's in my list that didn't make the top collective list. Paul Schrader doing Paul Schrader things. I think First Reformed is like the better version of this movie, but the card counter is really, really, really fascinating.
Edgar, what did that one guy on Twitter say about the card counter? It was a very funny tweet.
Oh, fuck. I
It's
can't
like-
even fucking pronounce the fucking word. That's why.
It was like post 9/11, something like that. It was really weird.
Brendan Hodges. That,
Yeah, he said something about card counter.
Dude,
did he mention brittle veneer?
Do not speak that name here.
Okay,
that guy's
in
Twitter.
a one-on-one like battle royale, Soups versus Brendan Hodges.
Dude, that guy,
Who you backing? Who you
Dumb
backing?
fuck mentality. Then we have
Yo,
pretentious
shit.
fuck. So
Wow.
damn, dude.
I just like
calling everyone out right now.
in a fist fight.
Yeah.
Hmm.
All right,
Mm.
Annette.
Annette,
Let's talk about Annette real quick.
We just
Yeah,
left it there.
I've always wanted to watch that. I love Adam Driver.
Adam Driver, literally one of the best performances of last year.
dude,
Oh,
Adam
shit.
Driver goes insane.
He's
in
amazing
this
in this
movie. In a lot of ways, it's sort of getting at exactly what Inside is getting at. And in a lot of
Adam
ways,
Driver plays evil Bo Burnham in the movie.
yeah,
That's perfect.
yeah.
Wow, that's a great way to describe that character.
and like becomes addicted to like content, dude. Becomes
Yeah.
addicted to like it's actually insane. The film, I think there's a theme of this list and a theme of like movies from last year, and I guess all movies do this, right? But these ones are really holding up a pretty damning mirror to us, right? And to what we enjoy and what we watch, what we talk about. That could be said for Annette, and that could be said for Red Rocket, and other films that we talked about. But Annette's amazing. If you haven't seen Annette, go see Annette.
Real quick, before you move on to your next one, I just want to say, if I may, I saw it and I think it's masterfully crafted. I just don't think, maybe I don't get it. I respected it so much, but by the end of it, I was like, I don't know if I liked it though. But I
Sure.
think that it's not concerned with that at all.
It's
Mhm.
like
that's
how
a
other
strength.
people view The Green Knight.
Kinda, yeah. And I wrote on Letterboxd like, this is absolutely goddamn bananas, and it doesn't
I love
seem
it
to
for that
care
reason.
or mind
Yeah.
at all.
Mhm.
Like, I don't think that I sat there in awe of how little the movie cared if I was watching it or not. It
And
does
if
not give a
you
shit if it got seen.
if you like Annette and even want a movie that was even fucking crazier, watch Leo Stratz's previous movie, Holy Motors.
Yeah.
I've heard that.
It's
I've heard
insane.
I've heard it's
So good.
wild.
I get what you're saying, Alden. I think there's a handful of movies I feel the same way about, where I respect more than I like them, if that makes sense. Or there's movies that I
That's
like.
honestly Licorice Pizza for me, and like Macbeth.
Yeah.
Mm.
And that takes a level of criticality when you're watching something to sort of parse through those feelings. A lot of people can't. But I think that's an interesting distinction. Like, you know, recently for like Jordan, like just to talk about Jordan Peele's movies, like I think Get Out is a better movie, but I like Nope better. So there's going to be those distinctions.
That's how I felt about Get Out and Us. That I
Okay.
like Us more, even though Get Out is tighter.
Yeah. But okay, real quick to wrap up my list, real quick, zeros and ones, guys. You guys got to check this out. So the Ethan Hawke movie that made the list, Zeros and Ones. It's a film by Italian filmmaker Abel Ferrara. Okay, and if we're talking about hostile, fuck you cinema, this is the top of the list. This breaks the list. Okay, this breaks the list.
Dig it.
I'm listening.
Dig
it already.
Here's the thing, guys, and this is the best way I can explain this movie, and I'll die on this hill. 30 years from now, 40 years from now, we're gonna have like college classes about what the fuck happened in 2020 to 2023 or whatever. Like Bo Burnham's Inside will be taught, and this film will be taught.
Oh, wow.
This could be, and in my personal opinion, is like one of the most defining and thoughtful and like encapsulating movies about like pandemic era like philosophy and lifestyle and like day-to-day like habits and whatnot.
You just sold me. I just put it on my watch list.
Dude, and the best
Everything's
part
on
is
your watch list. Watching 180 pictures a year.
That's
You're gonna-
Edgar. I watch good movies. This bitch is watching Thunder Force.
Josh, you're gonna hate it. I think you're gonna hate this movie, Josh, and I think it's supposed to
Yeah?
be hated. Yeah,
Okay.
I think anyone who watches this is supposed to hate it, dude.
Made
But-
for resentment.
Dude, the movie is so incomprehensible, shot like digital, like sludge going down your throat, like
Wow.
tar. Like like watching this movie is like put like going up like upside down, getting waterboarded with tar. Okay,
That's
but it's
insane.
but it's about like
Tyler's like, anyway, go watch it.
no, dude, let me tell you, this one, it's a banger. It's insane. There's a cool little intro and outro by Ethan Hawke playing himself, talking about the movie. But it's like super meta, and it's like part of the movie. Ethan Hawke even
That
says,
sounds like Leo Kratz kind of thing also.
What? What do you think?
Like, because Leo Kratz does that in his movies also.
Yeah.
Where it's very meta.
It's very meta, and there's these book-ended beginning and endings that like recontextualize and redefine what you just watched, and you don't even know what you just watched, so you needed those bookends. And it's super fascinating the way it plays with. It's super. It plays with the medium of filmmaking more than a lot of films I've seen recently. No one talked about it. No one cares about it. It's probably objectively bad, but for that reason, it's my top list. So
Let's see the Rotten Tomatoes.
Interesting.
yeah. Anyway, that's my
What
my
did
rank.
Also-
media say about it?
Oh, God.
What?
Like, what did Red Letter Media say about it?
Oh,
I know
yeah,
what
no,
their
I only,
opinion is.
yeah. Sorry, I don't know.
Like,
But-
I know them.
Touch on one more thing is like Red Rocket is another one of those movies where I respect a lot because of how authentic it is, but I didn't really like it as much.
Gotcha.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good film, but I get what you mean. I was unsure about it for for a hot second.
I think it's a good movie, but it's not a good Red Rocket movie. So.
Okay. Okay.
The salt.
I'm kidding. I haven't seen it either.
After almost 2.5 hours, 2:45 of trying to get No Time to Die in.
I'm pissed.
All
Sensitive.
right, give me one
I'm
second.
getting a lot of L's in these top 10 lists. What the hell is going on? First Pixar. Pixar was pretty successful at.
I wasn't on the Pixar one, but I heard you guys did some dumb shit, so I'm glad I wasn't there.
They put
Yeah, it was
Incredibles
mostly
at number
Trey.
one.
Incredibles number one.
Well,
as it
that's
should be.
that's a
Yeah.
good choice.
No,
But I
two was,
heard
like,
that there was.
Finding Nemo.
I had
Gotta-
messaged Josh that day that I couldn't make it, and I was like, "But I better see Brave
Oh god.
represented."
Oh.
And he said that he had it as his last one or second to last.
Toy Story 2 was in the top 5, I think, which was a success for me. That was a fun one.
Did we have the Green Knight in like number 2 for our A24 one? I think so, right?
What was it?
Yeah, it was.
What was number? Oh, Everything Everywhere. Yeah,
Give me one
interesting.
second.
Yeah, this
Alright.
has been a good 2021 list so far.
Let's hit the mine real quick.
What do you got here? Worst person? Oh, French
Dispatch.
Dispatch.
I adore French Dispatch. That is like an
Wow.
ultimate feel good movie.
Interesting. I'm more of
Wow.
a English Dispatch kind of person, but I'll take French.
Then Flea is a really good documentary. It does something really
Mhm.
different with the genre. And Titan is fucked up and amazing.
Hmm.
Then yeah. Judas and Black Messiah got overlooked because it got released like in that weird window where it was eligible for 2020 Oscars, and
Yeah.
but it's still like one of the better movies from last year.
Oh, I've never seen The Novice. I heard great things though.
Novice is, I think Isabel Furman should have got a nom. She's incredible. She's like one of my favorite performances from last year.
And the director of
like-
The Novice is like the coolest human being that ever lived.
She was
Or
a writer or like
Hathaway.
editor on
It
Nolan's
was like
movies. Or
she
something.
worked in the sound department on all of Zack Snyder's movies.
Or is that
And then she
Snyder?
was like, "Oh, hey, I could probably actually tell a story."
Mhm.
And so then she pieced out and made her own movie.
Nightmare Alley, very high.
Yeah.
17.
But yeah, Novice is like Whiplash, but with boats and like
Boats.
rowing. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Then
Like,
Mojo Mowgli is from the director who's doing. I'd say as like
Wait,
a
doing what? Doing
more
Blade, you said?
Blade, yeah.
Oh,
Brahim
cool, cool,
Tasik, I think is his name. It's more of a weirder, way weirder, like more methodical Sound of Metal. And I think Riz Ahmed's better, even better in this movie.
wow,
and
high
Sound of Metal.
praise.
Yeah, and
What about
Summertime,
Riz Ahmed in Rogue One?
he's one of the best parts of the movie.
Interesting.
And Summertime is from the director of Blind Spotting. It's like a really good, like just
Oh.
LA movie.
I do like
Zola.
LA.
Zoa's great.
We're down here in the approaching the 40s of this list right now.
Oh,
The
yeah.
beta
Wait,
test.
Josh, tell me about entry 73 and like
Kona!
what hey,
The
there you
fact
go.
that
That's
Macbeth is
Victor.
at 72 is just like
There are not
Hey,
71
Maybe
movies
I
that
could
are
make
better than Macbeth.
some few changes looking back on this.
maybe
Maybe.
a few.
Luca.
Nowhere In is good. It's really
Nowhere
weird.
In
Shang-Chi
is
62, you fake ass
awesome.
Tony Leung died for your sins. He's still alive.
Evan deserves to get a cameo in Shang-Chi too. Just,
Please,
just
Dad.
for all that.
Mainstream,
Um,
it's a decent movie, but Andrew Garfield's incredible in it.
Oh, I heard like it was really wacky and crazy.
Yeah.
That has the thing that always
Silly
gets
even.
posted on cinema Instagram accounts. Him with like the glittery face.
There's the
Uh,
next
tells
on
the
your
guy.
list. Oh my god.
We did it to the bottom.
Cherry. Hey.
This is
The
turning into
blueprint
that
for-
TikTok of like, and they don't stop coming, and they don't stop coming, and they don't stop coming.
Damn, being the
Man.
Ricardo is at 126. My
It is
God.
so boring. I almost fell
my
asleep, and I don't do that
God.
often.
Lamb at
You wanna sleep,
118.
Yeah.
The ending of Lamb is pretty cool though.
Reminiscence.
It doesn't
is
deserve
solid.
it though.
Come on.
It doesn't deserve it.
Fuck,
No.
you've got Belfast at 112. You
Yeah, no one here
get
likes
all
Belfast.
over Brana.
Ooh,
Tinder
Carson-
Bar is like the perfect just put on in the background, like just
It's called
Whatever
Tender
movie.
Bar.
Carson
told
and
you what it
Nathan-
was.
It's a really bad title.
Carson and Nathan love old. They would not like me.
The
for that.
second Nathan old is really like creepy and good, but
Zack
like,
Snyder's Justice League about 28 places too high.
Damn.
Oh wow. You think it's a wow? Okay. All right.
We should definitely have our Zack Snyder.
What's better, Cherry or Gray Man?
I
I haven't
Ooh.
seen Gray Man yet.
Gray Man,
I'm
I
gonna
think.
bet Gray Man, but I've not seen Cherry.
I've not seen Cherry, but yeah, I'll bet Grayman as well.
Cherry's good because of the butthole.
Read the read the description.
It's
Tyler likes his butthole comedies. Okay. The whole that's part of the genre dumb stuff on HBO.
That's a genre
Uh,
dumb. Yeah.
I definitively won this evening. You're welcome.
Oh, this is
You
all
did, yeah. Everything made the list. That's
Everything made it
That's
with an honorable
crazy.
mention as well.
Well played,
Um,
Oliver.
I
Wow.
don't
There
see any
were-
Ethan Hawke movies on here, so
There were that's true. It does have a lack of Ethan Hawke, but it makes up for it with Rachel Sennett or Seno, who, again, I would just like to party with. She just
Yeah.
seems like a riot. Everything on here slaps. I've talked about all these because they all appeared, so I'll keep it short and sweet. There were a lot of movies that I wanted to include. The In the Heights Mitchells, that could have also been Tick Tick Boom. That could have also been No Way Home. I considered.
surprised No Way Home didn't make it. So,
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
it's not even on my list though. So it's probably
yeah,
not on my
and again, I loved it, and honestly, Phase 4 for me has been my favorite phase. I have not had this.
Wait, did we
weird,
not
like-
have a single Marvel movie on?
No one did, and there were 4 options. Yeah.
Shang-Chi!
I forgot.
Oh,
Yeah,
the fade was the best part.
Fantastic. But yeah, I mean, I loved Eternals. I love No Way Home. That was a Black Widow defender, and Shang-Chi is brilliant too. And
Mid-Widow.
The Black Widow opening credits or opening title cards so good.
They're trash. I
So
stand on
good.
it still. I
Mid-
hate it.
are you
Mid-Eternals.
are you on
No
crack?
mid-home.
You didn't like
It's
the
so cheesy, like not in a good way.
Great way. I loved it.
you didn't like the Black Widow opening credits?
No.
My guy.
That's so good. Right on in.
They're so good.
It's
So
a
good.
damn. Yeah, I'm gonna watch it on Disney+.
Also, Black Widow is better than Winter Soldier at being the Marvel
Wow.
spy thriller.
Okay, that's a take.
I wouldn't disagree. Maybe I don't know.
The take that I respect and will entertain.
It's a good Black Widow movie, but not. I'm
No,
kidding.
you may approach with your take.
Right. So this is what I love to see.
Yeah, you watch more movies than Josh.
He did.
What's 150?
What do we got up here? Oh, the
A Quiet
Sparks
Place.
Brothers doc.
Sparks Brothers is
Nice.
good. It's a good job.
Yeah,
It's
that's Edgar Wright's doc, right?
Yeah. The better Edgar Wright movie of 2021.
Oh wow, you have Nightmare Alley
Wow.
High.
Yeah.
I didn't really like Nightmare Alley.
Nightmare Alley's
Miss-
great.
Swing and a miss from my boy Del Toro.
I still haven't seen it, and I've seen all the Del Toro, so I really need to.
There's no sick beast sex monster thing. So
Can we say Last Night in Soho is like some of the best needle drops of all time?
Happy
hell
House.
yes.
Excellent.
Good vibes. Good vibes.
I didn't get to see Drive My Car.
It is a movie. It is something else.
I need to watch it too. Yeah, it's on HBO Max right now.
Mm-hmm.
for now.
Criterion made a.
What else
made
we
a
got
version of
here?
it.
What else we got
Is
here?
that out yet?
It's out. Yeah.
Is it? I picked that up.
Oh, Mass. I heard people
Mass.
like that
Mass
one.
is great. Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty tough
Nightmare of
to
the
watch,
Wolf.
but it's pretty.
Candyman. Candyman
Nightmare
is
of the
a
Wolf.
really good horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's great.
The beta test. Oh, let me talk about the beta test real quick.
Yes.
What
That
is it?
ending
that?
monologue is some of the best acting I've ever seen.
What's
Yeah.
the beta? Is that A24?
It's
Okay.
no, it's IFC.
Go to number
Yeah.
69. Edgar tells about 69.
I don't know. I don't know what I have. with 6.
That's what we're gonna find out.
Titanic.
Oh boy.
That's fitting.
Below Palmer? In Belfast?
That's weird. Yeah, I don't know why it's so low.
In Eternals.
Yeah.
I like seeing Fear Street on here. 1666.
Got Free Guy down there.
Free Guy is so much fun. I love
This
Free
is
Guy.
too low. How dare you?
Which one?
Prince Dispatch.
Oh,
Sorry.
somebody
Oh.
that saw Respect. I'm shocked.
There's a lot of that when we get to the end of his list.
Somebody
They-
saw
they
it.
pay
Go
you
to the
watch all
bottom.
these,
Go
right,
to the
Edgar?
very bottom.
Edgar, you're paid to
The
watch all
Wish
these, right?
Dragon. What is this?
What?
I do
I think I
remember
even
that
saw a
movie.
trailer for that. Okay, hold on. Vivo at
That's it.
95. Vivo deserves a little more.
Viva Pinata.
Oh, you really did not like Don't Look Up. Wow.
You
What's
put
this
Friends,
human
the
all about?
reunion.
Halloween Kills.
And there are movies I forgot even
Evil
existed.
Dies Tonight.
Snake
Evil
Eyes, I
Dead
forgot existed.
I Warner Brothers some of
What
these
the
out of my
fuck
head.
is this? The Last Letter from Your Lover?
Oh yeah, I heard about that one. Yeah.
Is that Shailene Woodley?
Hey, some of these
Oh,
are remember.
Someone
Some of
else
these
saw the
are
protege
forced to
besides
watch.
me.
Tomorrow, War.
War.
That was bad. Wait,
Independent.
Tomorrow War is not better than the Protege.
The protege is
fine.
better than Tomorrow War. Come
Protege
on.
is fun. I like Protege.
Is it?
That was fun.
Protege has a great Michael Keaton like supporting
Michael
performance.
Keaton. Between that and American Assassin, I love.
Yeah.
I-
Shout out to
Michael
Without
Keaton's killing it.
Remorse. Coming in low. Coming in nice and low. The Clancy verse. Coming,
Oh
coming,
god,
little things,
Red
Jimmy, little
Notice.
coming in strong.
Oh, I have Tom and Jerry for you.
Boss
Tyler.
Baby needs to be higher. Oh my god, Tom and Jerry, dude, better than Clifford.
Clifford.
That's the-
Imagine like coming to America at 144. What happened?
Lockdown hype.
One of the
Dude.
funniest movies I saw
I-
last year was the
Thunder
Cry
Force.
Macho.
I haven't seen the movie, but I have seen Daisy's Orange Pants, and I can't
Oh,
believe
yeah.
Chaos Walking is not in
Wait.
top fives.
I think okay. I think
Literally,
Things
her
Need
scenes are the
Seven should
only
be higher.
different. What was
The
that?
Amanda Seyfried movie should be
That
way
good?
higher. Yeah, I liked it a lot.
Which one?
Things heard and seen. I also have a small brain though, so maybe that's
Half a star. Wow.
As
Dude,
long as
what
it has
the-
wrinkles, it's not about size. It's about
Thanks.
smooth
What's
or
that
not
last
smooth.
one?
I had
What's
fun
the
with
last
Ice Road. Ice Road is bad. but
Force.
Ice Road is bad.
Thunder
but
Force. Oh man,
Was
Dude, I
this a
wanna watch
streaming
Ice Road.
movie?
It's
It's
Netflix.
Netflix.
did they do this
Netflix.
as a favor to for someone?
Who directed this?
It's probably just a paycheck.
no one.
No one. Zach Snyder.
Me.
It wasn't a director.
Directed by Algorithm,
Ben Falcone.
Oh, her husband.
Oh,
Oh.
so it was a
Oh.
favor.
Ben Falcone is Melissa
Damn it.
McCarthy's husband. Yeah.
It's also her kryptonite because these movies
Hey,
are
Falcone.
not great.
Felt
Yeah,
cool.
her worst roles are with
Her
him.
worst movies are with him. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Oh
the-
yeah, Infinite. Anton Fuqua.
What the?
Dang.
Antoine
miss old-
Fuqua had a movie with fucking
It
Chiwetel
was Paramount
Ejiofor.
Plus's first exclusive movie too.
I miss
Yeah.
Anton Fuqua. Old Anton.
Antoine Fuqua and Chiwetel made a fucking sci-fi looking fucking
and
movie.
Toby Jones, Jason Matsuda's Rupert Friend.
And it was bad and under the radar. That's the saddest thing I ever heard.
The main character is called Evan. I mean,
Oh, sweet.
It's
Evan
Mark Wahlberg.
Macaulay.
can't relate to an Evan.
Cry Macho. I'm so glad somebody saw that one.
That's Clint Eastwood, right?
Who's not over age 65. It's like they just give DVDs of that with the AARP membership.
Hell yeah.
What is this? Has the
Fucking
hot
Oslo.
priest from Fleabag?
Oh,
Yeah.
Andrew Scott. Yeah, Moriarty. And,
You
yeah.
think of Fleabag when you think of Andrew Scott?
It's the
Yeah.
soldier from 1917, dude.
Random sergeant.
He was good.
Wait, what
I
do you
always
think
think
of
those-
Evan?
I go to
Sherlock.
Moriarty.
Sherlock.
Yeah.
Automatically Sherlock. Yeah.
I haven't seen Sherlock. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. We use Moriarty.
Sherlock seasons 1 and 2 are phenomenal television.
Masterpiece.
Dear Evan
yeah.
Hansen.
At Preston's
Red
favorite
Notice
movie.
slaps.
That Hitman's wife's
it?
bodyguard.
The little things. It's the little things, Jimmy.
I love how we could just use Edgar's list to shit on bad movies because he's seen all of them.
Peter
And
Rabbit.
this is
2,
why
The
I'm a
Runaway.
true American hero. Now they're
Without
trying to
remorse is
cancel
fun.
all the movies.
Edgar's like when Edgar's like a famous film critic, his motto needs to be like, "I saw it, so you don't have to."
I
liked-
wanted to watch this movie for a while. Is it not that good?
My dad
I wanted to
hated
watch
this movie.
it.
He was like, Evan, do not watch this.
What
movie."
did that cast though? Like,
It's the cast is pretty good, but it just becomes very repetitive and boring.
Yeah. My
That's a
friends told me
bummer,
that
dude.
hated this. What's next? I gotta hurry up and go soon, so let's wrap this
Okay.
up.
Yeah.
Past my bedtime. I'm joking. I'll be up till 5.
watching Big Brother.
But yeah, that's yeah.
Dude,
I'm gonna
this
watch
is
Prey after this.
so
Ah,
awesome.
Prey was so good.
Big
Wait,
Brother.
I need
is-
to. Let's have a Big Brother chat with Tyler and Evan real quick while I bring this up.
Big Brother. You watched Big Brother this season, Tyler?
Yeah, I love watching Big Brother. I try to watch the feeds as much as I can. This summer I've been able to watch them a
Oh,
little bit more.
I've been watching the Feed as this podcast is going on.
Oh, really?
But yeah, I'm addicted.
Yeah,
I
dude.
I've
love it.
never seen an episode in my life.
I was a little
Auden, we'll
concerned.
convert you.
I don't even have a big brother.
That's sad.
I could be that guy for you.
It was the fucking wording of that.
I
It was
didn't
the
think about
delivery.
that.
Man.
Oh, well.
Thank you.
Just let me know what you think.
There we
Yeah,
go.
Big
I'll
Brother
give
this
you- I'll
season's
shoot you
really
a
fun.
text.
Yeah, text me. Nick, the week.
Yeah, Big
I
Brother.
feel like that would be a good thing.
So
Yeah,
much fun
I think
this
so.
season.
Okay.
I'm liking it a lot. I mean, it got better. The first week was just very rough, but after that, it got better.
Paloma ruined the whole game, but
She did, yeah.
she ruined
And
the
she
whole
left.
game, dude. And luckily, they have some sort of reparations now as they're fixing everything. But
Yeah.
dude,
Once she left, it was like now we're cleaning out the trash. Paloma's gone. Pooch is
Dude,
gone.
dude,
It's like,
100%.
Thank you. Thank you.
100% agreed.
All right, so we have Nikki's list. right here.
Nikki. Harder
I got
they
the 3.
fall.
Oh, how do they fall?
Oh, you did
The
get a
first-
3. Oh,
first
shit.
Last night in
3
Soho.
out of
Love
order.
that.
Yeah, I didn't see as many movies. I didn't see a lot of the like award season movies either. But
Yeah.
what I saw, I liked for the most part. And
Matrix being on there is so great.
Matrix
I
was-
really enjoyed that Matrix movie.
It was
honestly.
really good.
Really did. Yeah, great stuff. Honestly,
If
How Do They Fall is a great western.
if Nathan was here, he probably would have made Matrix like get on the list because he has like number 2 or 3. Right. Yeah, Matrix is really good. I loved what they did with it.
Yeah.
Also part of like FU movies kind of thing, like you're
Yeah.
talking about,
Yeah.
because it was great. People did not like it.
All right.
Not
any
my
last
Matrix.
thoughts on? I think it's a really good year for film. I know a lot of people were really kind of dodging on it, but that was really solid.
Yeah, early on I said like I think 2021 was more of a bottom half kind of year where everything in the bottom was really good, like fall season. But going through the movies, I think overall 2021 was just a very good year overall.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of
Agreed.
subtextual movies on our list too. I liked that. Pig,
Green Knight,
Green Knight,
Dune,
Power of the Dog, Dune,
Suicide
Yeah.
Squad.
Suicide Squad, The Suicide Squad. Sorry,
All right.
Yeah, beast.
That
Sorry,
was a
David,
pretty fun one. Well, probably our longest yet, which is crazy.
well, whenever I bring Auden on here, you know,
It's true.
It'll be your
I
longest one until
over-deliver.
you watch the Snyder Cut.
True that.
Speaking of Alden, hot off interviewing the one and only Ryan Johnson. Where do people find you?
Yeah, you could find me on Twitter and Instagram at that Alden Diaz, THATALDENDIAZ. My podcast, Octo Radio, is headlining the 2022 Podathon for Make-A-Wish Foundation. It's a real thing. No one touches the money. It's done through Make-A-Wish. And I reached out to Ryan Johnson, and he said, yeah, I'm in. And we talked, and it's already done. So for me, it's in the past, but the interview airs 8 p.m. September 17th. It's going to do to live premiere as part of a live stream where the goal we're trying to hit is $10,000. We've already cracked 1,000, and it's
Sweet.
not till September 17th. So thanks to Ryan Johnson for that. The interview rocks. It's the best Star Wars interview he's ever done. I'm confident in saying that. And it has little to do with me.
Can you
Like,
tell us
he
how
just-
long the interview is?
It's an hour and 12 minutes.
Wow.
Ooh, sweet.
And as an hour and 12 minutes and every single question was mine. Like there was no PR interference whatsoever.
Great.
They let me ask whatever I wanted nonstop.
He put his whole Ryan Genesee.
Oh,
Into
Dude,
this-
Nikki has seen it.
Yeah, no,
Nikki saw the
he's
interview.
good. Ryan is on like top form. It's one of those things where it's like you look at it, you're like, you're everything I wanted you to be. Like, like he's
100%.
fantastic. So yeah,
It's like
you're-
he's been gone from our Star Wars lives, but you get that fucking you're just as beautiful as the day I lost you from Brave. That's how I felt with it.
that to
Wow.
get brave in here.
I won't stand for Brave slander, but yeah,
Haven't seen it, so I can't slander it.
It's not good.
it's underrated. It's underrated, Jim.
Speaking of Ryan Johnson, thanks to him for making The Last Jedi, which is what allowed me and Nitti to meet Mr. Tyler Castellini, because we bonded over
Ah.
last
Yeah,
night
that was
at Fourth Friday in,
was a
in
moment in time.
Disneyland.
It was
That's
more like
fantastic.
Frozen Friday, but it's okay. I mean,
triple Frozen
Frozen.
Friday.
Frozen 2 Friday. Yeah, triple Frozen 2 Friday. Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
say where do people find you, but I don't think you're on any social media. So.
You know what? You literally can't find me. So you can
I
email
just
me.
hear is the only
Here's his
place.
phone number.
Yeah. Just dox me on stream. You can email me if you want to reach out. If there's someone out there that's like, hey, I want to know more about this guy, you can email me. Last name Castellini.firstname@gmail.com and hit me up. And maybe I'll be back on social media later. But I'm
What tiers do you offer? Are there tiers to your friendship?
no.
If I email you,
What's your Patreon tiers?
I don't have any Patreon tiers, unfortunately. If you want to just be my friend, you can. If you want to be my lover, you could just hit me up. And yeah,
I'm impressed.
I'm so glad you came on this, Tyler, because the world needed to see you.
dude,
and
I love you.
experience
Yeah.
your brain
Yeah.
because you are one of my favorite people to talk to about
Dude,
stuff. Like
Nikki-
so many Disneyland lines went like that because we were just in it. We were just going on whatever. And yeah, so people, you're gonna be impressed if you ever get to mine Tyler's head.
Dude, Nikki, you're way too nice to me, first of all. And at the same time, I'll likewise say the same thing back to you. I feel the same way. And I am grateful to, one, be here and to be on the podcast and get the conversation archived on the youtube.com. But I'm also just grateful to, know you guys and be a part of the community that you guys have invited me into. And I don't take it for granted. You guys are my guys. So thanks for having me today. And Nikki, I appreciate your kind words. Too nice. Thanks.
I like him so much more than so many people that we know in this place. Of a one conversation, and that will be gone.
Wow,
Speaking
I'm
Ain't that fucked up?
gonna give you a hug.
Bird.
Done.
Dunk.
from the Imperial Senate podcast, which was just canonized. Sorry.
Can never plug ISP.
Don't talk about that. Yeah, but we are canon now. We are canon.
You are
We work really
canon, yeah.
hard.
That's
We are
fair.
Star Wars creators in and out of canon. Put your emojis in your names. Support us. Anyway, yeah, you can follow me as it says in my little name thing at Nequitious on Twitter. Imperial Senate podcast. You know, it's they talk about Star Wars. Don't follow. If you want Star Wars talk, don't follow us. Don't listen to us. But if you want weird jokes and off center humor, then you can listen to us. Because sometimes we talk about Star Wars and it gets weird. But yeah, you can do that. You can follow One and Done Film Club that I do with Alden and another friend Reed. You can follow that at One, the letter N, Done Show on Twitter. And we have a good archive so far of episodes.
It's a
So
lot of hours.
it is. For anyone who doesn't know, we debate which one franchise movie to watch, and then we watch it. So
And then we put it on the shelf. So it's
Yep.
like we did our Alien episode, and that's the Alien episode. So like what one entry of a franchise
Oh God, here
should
we go.
speak for all of them.
Yeah.
That's
so
the
one
thing.
and done. There we
Have
go.
you guys done Mission Impossible yet?
That's our third episode.
What
We
movie did you
did.
guys?
That was
Oh,
recently-
baby!
The Fallout.
I had to convince them, and it wasn't a hard.
Did
convince,
anyone
but
bring Mission Impossible 2?
No,
No, I
it was
picked three.
three Ghost Protocol and Fallout. I think.
3 is like way better than people give it credit.
3 is
Yeah.
what made like the modern era of Mission Impossible. Yeah. So.
The entirety of my pitch hinged on them digging the Alec Baldwin switch around bit, and
That bit is
Doug
great.
it was.
I could not believe what I was seeing when that happened. That was euphoric. Like being played by a script that way. It's amazing.
But yeah, that's a great show. And then of course I also do Rebels Remembered with Alden. Or no, sorry, that's not the show.
No. yeah.
Rewatch Between Worlds.
I agreed with you. Like I did. I forgot what it was called.
Why is it Rebels Remembered? Rewatch Between Worlds. Going through Star Wars Rebels episode by episode. and the Rebels recons, and whatever interviews we can pick up along the way.
I miss Rebels Recon.
Oh, so good.
Then had Pablo Hidalgo with his cup of coffee.
Mm.
Great.
There's a long overdue conversation that some of us are having that the wider fandom needs, where we need the episode by episode after show back. And the fact that we don't do it now while we have so much episodic Star Wars is a shame. It's a real shame.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, that's where you can find my stuff.
And one of my co-hosts, Evan, where people find you?
Find me on Twitter, Harris EV9, talking all things Big Brother, as I always do. But also, yesterday we did a commentary on Nathan Rojas' channel on Prey. This whole past couple of weeks, we've been going through the Alien and Predator franchise, going through all 13 movies. And before we got to Alien 3, Prey came out, so we decided to talk about Prey before jumping back into our order. So we did Prey yesterday. It's one of my favorite movies of the year. Just
so good.
Fantastic, flawless movie, I dare say.
It's really good.
Very, very good. Amber is amazing. So yeah, next week we'll be watching Alien 3.
Are you doing the director's version or like the assembly cut? Is that what it's called? Or are you doing
I've never seen Alien 3, so whatever's on Hulu right now. So that's
okay. Interesting.
I didn't know there's multiple versions. Is there multiple versions?
Yeah, there's like a director's cut.
Oh wow.
That I don't know which one I prefer. I think people say the director's one is better, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't remember him enough.
I'll have to ask Nathan because I've never seen Alien 3 or 4. I forget what 4 is called. But, Resurrection.
That's it. That's something.
And then I can't wait for AVP 1. I love the first AVP, but AVP 2 is not great. But yeah, it's exciting. And then next week we have Micah Batty, where we'll talk more about Warner Brothers Discovery and the show.
Bastards.
Yeah.
Aggressively not your cup of tea.
Yeah.
Genre dome.
That should be the title. Yeah. That and genre dome.
Genre dome.
And lastly, Edgar.
Oh, I was waiting for you to say the thing.
Where do people find you? Yeah.
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, EDG, or TEG. Patiently waiting for House of the Dragon. I'm hoping to start binging The Sandman by tomorrow, Monday, maybe. I don't know. Either or. Yeah. Find my work at Loud and Clear Reviews, and I'll be here for the next one.
And you can find me at Josh D. Woodbury on Twitter. And you can find our show on Instagram and Twitter and now Instagram, finally, with at WHFG Podcast for next episode announcements and updates and shit like that. We actually put out a lot of recent announcements and updates for the show going forward. So go check that out on our socials, and it's an exciting future for this podcast. It's gonna be fun.
Keep it locked in.
So
like and subscribe.
Ring the bell.
Ring the bell.
Actually, don't.
Yes, we gotta beat the algorithm. What do you mean?
Reverse psychology.
Sadly.
Yeah.
All right. It was a good one, and we'll see you in the next one. Until then, heartbreak feels real good.